वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमिक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपां बुद्धिर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्ति स्वरूपाय गोविंदिति नामिने गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे परतत्व प्रकाशिने श्री दामोदर देवस्य प्रियायते नमो 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 विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्ति स्वरूपाय दामोदर इति नामिने नमः सद्भक्तमने मणिपुर उद्भवाय च शिल प्रभुपाद वाणी प्रचार निरताय ते नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, warm welcome everyone in this study of Krishna consciousness. Life is to be experiencing bliss, to be in an active participation of bliss, and that is what is Krishna consciousness is. To be experiencing real joy, a joy which is always increasing, a joy which is real, pleasure which is real and which is forever. And as we heard from our dear most Gurudev, our Shri Guru speaks, we heard from him, it's simple to be happy, but difficult to be simple. It is simple to be happy, but difficult to be humble. It is simple to be happy, but difficult to be honest. And Krishna consciousness is that platform which makes us realize this, that I am anything but simple, I am anything but honest, I am anything but humble. A practitioner, if he is slightly awakened, he would realize this very soon enough. And how do we understand? It is simple to be happy, we can somewhat understand it. Difficult to be simple. Yeah. Now, this practice of Krishna consciousness is all to make the complicated to simple, to resolve this complication or difficulty. And how do we make it any less difficult, or how do we remove this difficulty? Of it is simple to be happy, but difficult to be simple. So this difficulty of not being simple, not being humble, not being honest, how do we solve it? It can be solved only in good association, good inspiring devotee association. There is no other way out. It's not by the number of rounds of japa I do, the reading, hearing, the amount of reading, hearing, chanting, Rath Yatra, or visits to Vrindavan, or anything of that. It's predominantly or throughout devotee association, because if our attitude in devotee association is not clear, we can never do loving japa. We can never really relish dham, being in Vrindavan consciousness, or being in engagement in blissful seva. Srila Prabhupada, in the preface of Nectar of Instruction, he writes, attitude advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the practitioner. So if we really want to advance in Krishna consciousness, we have to check our attitude. And if we genuinely realize that actually I'm practicing, I'm doing japa, reading, hearing, following the principles, but I feel I'm not advancing, and in genuine sense, then somewhere our attitude is not clear. Definitely. And as we said before, attitude, Attitude. That's the spelling of attitude in English, right? Now, more so in India, I'm not sure about the Western European world or some other places, but more so in India, there's lots of quantitative, competitive examinations happen. logical reasoning and things. So one of the things they check, like, is for seeing how quick is one problem solving capacity, ability, and also approach towards a problem. So they say like attitude. And if A is 1, like English letters A to Z, it's 26, right? A being 1, B being 2, C being 3, D being 4, and so on and so forth. So X, Y, Z, X will be 24, 25, 26. So if A is 1, what would be T? Ritik, Akhila, Samit, Murthy, Natalie, Sheetal, and Amanda. If A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, what would T be?
20 for it.
20? Smashing. So T is 20, U would be 21. Yeah? TU. And then D will be 4, right? E will be 5. I will be 9. Have we got all the letters? I think so. So A T T I D U A T T I T U D E. Huh? Now, how much it comes to? Now, if A is 1, T is 20, then another T 20, then I 9, another T20, then U 21, then D 4, and then E5, right? How much would it come to, the total of it? One plus 20 plus 20 plus 9 plus 20 plus 21 plus 4 plus 5.
To 100.
Haribol. Yeah. So attitude is 100%. It's 100. It's 100%. It's full. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the practitioner. So our attitude has to be minimum 100%. As we like, we are either Krishna conscious or we are not. As simple. We have been living our bodies since eternity. We have been taking new bodies, giving up this body, giving up so many material bodies. Why? Because at the time of that, we couldn't never ever manage to come up with a Krishna conscious attitude. We couldn't make it fully 100%. No. And this life is a sublime opportunity in front of us to glorify death. Human life is actually meant to glorify death. That's the one stage of it. Is to, because we have glorified everything in this life. Since eternity, we have become doctors, lawyers, engineers, musicians, politicians, whatnot. Different bodies we have lived in, but we could never manage to glorify that. And this opportunity is there for us to glorify that and enter in a eternal blissful stage, to live a life of eternity and bliss in association with Radha Krishna, in association with Shri Guru and Gaurang. So with this somewhat prayer, desire, hankering, yearning, call, interest, objective, aim, attitude, aspiration, we continue our study of Krishna consciousness, and the desire is to become a student and to ever remain a student of the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is non-different from the message of Srila Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami has given us, the Shad Goswamis, exactly the same message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which coming through in Parampara, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, and our Gurudev Srila Bhakti Swarup Govind Maharaj is giving us exactly the same what Mahaprabhu desired to give and gave. the Shad Goswamis. And we should also be dovetailing all our prayers, energies, calculations, everything towards this end only. For this sublime, coming towards this sublime message, this union, this meeting point, and desiring for this only, which is what? Shri Radha Dasyam. Krishna Prem, it translates to Shri Radha Dasyam. We say in temples after the morning program or throughout that our objective is what? To attain Krishna Prem. And what is the definition of Krishna Prem? What is the description or understanding of it? Is loyalty, fidelity, that hankering, aim, aspiration of taking eternal shelter and survivorship of our Swamini Srimati Radharani. Radha Dasyam Krishna Prem is equivalent to Radha Dasyam. That's the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radha Dasyam is Mahaprabhu's message, and we'll try to understand this message. Some Krishna consciousness is very specific, the practice is specific, it is a very concentrated practice. What to say, evolved definitely, very specific, very concentrated, condensed, active participation in bliss, and the utmost highest potential of a human being in his or her consciousness to aspire to attain is Shri Radha Dasyam, what Mahaprabhu has come to give. And this we'll see through many literatures, because our foundation of our practice has to be Guru Sadhu Shastra. That has to be the foundation. We cannot ignore scriptures, rather we have to embrace them wholeheartedly. And devotees and Shri Guru's blessings. So we have been studying in Krishna consciousness that some stages naturally come in our life, in our practice of Krishna consciousness, or life in general. Everyone's life goes in stages. Doesn't matter practicing Krishna consciousness or not practicing Krishna consciousness. Even when we are in student life, school, college, uni, the stages in our life within a year, there are so many stages, summer, winter, like this. So many stages like come in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Stages, call it levels of realization, growth, learning, experience, knowledge, that sort of thing. Stages of growth, stages of learning, stages of experiences, stages of realizations in our practice of Krishna consciousness. So the first stage we discussed previously, 5 stages. Today we aim to discuss the 5th stage. The first stage, as we see under the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, spirituality begins when, or the teachings of Krishna consciousness, spiritual life begins when I understand I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. That's the beginning. To know the difference between matter and spirit. That is the beginning of spiritual life. Prabhupada writes this in the purport of 211 or 212 or 213 or 27 or somewhere in this, or 2.1 actually in the purport somewhere. But very in the beginning of the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes this in the purport that spiritual life begins when we understand the difference between matter and spirit. Who is the owner of matter? Who is the owner of spirit? That differentiation, the distinction. That's when our spiritual life begins. So the first stage in our realization of Krishna consciousness, in our practice of spiritual life, has to be that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul. Getting that understanding, even though in theory, because in physical sense, no one can prove, no one can show the soul proper. But same time, we cannot deny the existence of the soul. So if we acknowledge, understand that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, then I should be acting how a spirit soul acts. So the natural state of spirit soul is what? Jivere Swarup hoye Krishna Nitya Das. Our all constitutional position is to take complete survivorship of Lord Shri Krishna. So that next stage in our evolution of our practice of Krishna consciousness is what? That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Taking complete shelter of Him, surrendering to Lord Shri Krishna, understanding that in this universe or all the universe, there is a cause and effect. It has come into cause. There is a creator. Who is the creator? Krishna is the creator. है ना? Krishna is the source of everyone and everything. Our lives and everything belongs to Krishna. So understanding that has to be our second stage of realization, next stage of realization, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in all sense. So we owe our existence to Krishna, whole and whole. So that second stage of our realization in Siddhant, in principles, in Tattva. Then our practice has to evolve, because under Mahaprabhu's lens, we evolve even more further. So much so that we understand that Srimati Radharani is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. They are the divine couple. The pair, the Yugal Sarkar. राधा कृष्ण एक आत्मा दुई देह धरी अन्य अन्य विलसने रसास्वादन करी. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela chapter 4 text 56. We'll see it on screen. They are the pair, supreme pair of God, personality of Godhead, supreme pair of Godhead. Radha and Krishna, the divine couple. Our worship is not just to Lord Shri Krishna, and neither just to Radharani. It is to both Radha and Krishna. So, Amanda, read translation. Or Andrew, read translation, please.
Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love.
So, since when have they assumed two bodies? Since eternity. And for how long will they be assuming two bodies? For eternity. And since how long have they been enjoying the company of each other? Since eternity. And for how long? For eternity. Radha and Krishna are one in spirit, in union. They are one singular pair of Godhead, becoming two. God is all capable, all powerful. How can we limit? Why cannot one become two? So Radha Krishna ek Atma, in unit, in soul, in consciousness, they are one. Atma meaning self, as we see in the synonyms here. Radha Krishna ek Atma, they are one. Dui deha dhari, they meaning body. They have accepted, they have taken two bodies and spiritual body. Everything about them is spiritual, toe to head, whatnot. And since eternity and for eternity. And for what end? Anya anya vilasane rasasvadan kari. To give mellows, to give joy to each other, to experience real bliss and to give bliss to each other. Also, it makes sense, na? God is should be or is the recipient of all pleasure, all bliss, right? Is and should be, right? Now, how will God experience complete bliss? Who can give God complete bliss other than God himself or herself? Hai? Who else has the capacity? Hai? So, Krishna is the absolute recipient of all pleasure, of all joy, of all bliss and everything. And Radharani is the absolute provider of all joy, all bliss to Krishna. As simple as that. Do we have a role to play in between? Yes, we have a big role to play in between. We can be, under Mahaprabhu's teachings and instructions, we can be a facilitator in enhancing their joy. We can be a facilitator in making them relish more and more joy, more and more newer and newer joy, higher and higher joy, even better and better joy. That opportunity is given to us. So the third stage is realizing Radharani's position, Radharani's dominance. And A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, whom we lovingly call Prabhupada, somewhere Prabhupada, he was giving a class on Radha Ashtami in Vrindavan. I don't remember which year it was. And in that class of 30 minutes or however duration, 95% of that class, initial, say if it was a 30-minute class, for the first 25 minutes, he was all on the occasion of Radha Ashtami, he was singing the glories, he was speaking the glories of Lord Shri Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is this, Krishna is that, how beautiful, how wonderful, how sweet, loving, caring, what not, this and that. Everything. And towards the end, what does he say? And that same Krishna, he is being controlled by Radharani to bring out the dominance of Srimati Radharani. As we were discussing, studying one day, right? That ghee is there in milk, or butter is there in milk, but there is a process how to extract. There is a way. So that is why we say that the essence of all Krishna consciousness is Krishna Prem. But the essence of Krishna Prem is what? Radha Dasyam. What is seen at the forefront is Krishna Prem. Reading Bhagavad Gita, that's the foundational of our practice of Krishna consciousness. Yes, Krishna claims, I am the supreme enjoyer, I am the supreme controller, I am the supreme well-wisher, I am the source of all creation, no one is equal to me or greater than me. And it's all a fact, it's all true. But who is that essence of Krishna? Who is that source of Krishna, so to say, even that? That everyone receives joy from me. But who gives joy to Krishna? That is Radharani, her position, her status. And ours is a practice, again, it's a condensed bliss, very concentrated, condensed bliss. We all are searching for bliss only in life. So, this condensed bliss, for us to enter in Ras Rajya, in the kingdom of mellows, we have to understand the status of Srimati Radharani, her position. Without it, we are not understanding Krishna consciousness as per Mahaprabhu's teachings, as per Rupa Goswami's teachings, as per Srila Prabhupada's teachings. So it is like a train moves on two wheels, right? And then it moves very nicely. So our practice has to move on two wheels. Two wheels as in what? The Siddhant, the Tattva, the philosophy, the principles. That is one wheel, the Tattva. And another is Rasa. We are not just dry speculators or dry philosophers or dry practice. No, it is a very nectarian practice. But how would we experience nectar? Only when we are firmly grounded in the principles, in the Siddhant. So, as they say, that life is water, life is air, jalasya jivanam. In Sanskrit, they say, life is water, life is air, or again. So, it's not like, okay, water is life, as in, we cannot live without water. Water is what nourishes life. Or in this day and age, life is sense enjoyment, one may say. As in, we cannot live without sense enjoyment. We cannot live without water. So the cause of life is what? Water. The cause of life is what I am. Likewise, the cause of Krishna is what? Radharani is the cause of Krishna. Radharani is the cause of Krishna being Krishna. Like we request, share this on screen. Chaitanya Chaitamit, but we tend to forget where it comes. Radha Sange Yada Bhati Tada Madana Mohana Anyatha Vishwamoho Api Swayam Madana Mohita. Radha Sange Yada Bhati. When Shyam Sundar, when Lord Shri Krishna is with Radha Rani, Tada Madana Mohana, then he is the enchanter of Cupid. When Lord Shri Krishna is with Radharani, then he is the enchanter of Cupid. Anyatha Vishwa Moho Api. Otherwise, even though he is enchanting the entire universe, but Swayam Madan Mohita, but himself, he is being bitten by Cupid himself. He himself is experiencing the pain of Cupid. So, Akhil Samit Murthy, read translation.
Hare Krishna. The female parrot said,
Or Ritik, read translation.
Hare
Whosoever
Krishna.
is available.
The female parrot said, when Lord Shri Krishna is with Radharani, he is the enchanter of Cupid. Otherwise, when he is alone, he himself is enchanted by erotic feelings, even though he enchants the whole universe.
Yeah. So we studied this previously also, and this is the basic in Krishna consciousness, the superlative position of Srimati Radharani, the dominant position of Srimati Radharani. Yes, they both are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They both are the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. But what is the essence of milk? Ghee is the essence of milk, right? Butter is the essence of milk. So essence of Shyam Sundar is Srimati Radharani. Cause of Shyam Sundar is Srimati Radharani. So, and in Ras Rajya, again, Mahaprabhu wants us to be entering in Ras Rajya. We cannot enter into the groves of Vrindavan without taking the servitorship of Srimati Radharani. That is the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Krishna consciousness. We'll continue exploring this more. So the status of Radharani has to come about. If we understood we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, then the next thing is we have to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A level up, the status of Srimati Radharani. A level up, the status of Shri Guru, the status of spiritual master, the unique, complete, wholesome position of spiritual master. So as we discussed before, the role and the position of spiritual master from every angle is complete. For a practitioner, his spiritual master carries the status of Lord Shri Krishna. For a disciple, his spiritual master is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For a disciple, his spiritual master is carries the status, the position of Srimati Radharani also. In principle, in philosophical sense, like Chaitanya Chaitamit, the Adi Lila first chapter says, Radha Krishna, they are the Sevya Bhagwan, as in the worshipable God. We worship them for their pleasure. And spiritual master is the servant God. Prabhupada writes this in the purports and translations. In our own time, we can check in Adi Leela, first chapter of Adi Leela of Chaitanya Chaitamit, servant God and worshipable God, servitor God. So Radha Krishna are the worshipable God, and spiritual master is the servant God. But for a disciple, it is no wrong to see his spiritual master as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as presently manifest as the present manifest form of Lord Shri Krishna. Condensed form of Lord Shri Krishna coming in the form of spiritual master. That's a subjective experience. And that subjective experience has to evolve. That spiritual master is the condensed manifestation, customized manifestation form of Radharani for me. Because if I want to experience devotional seva, service, in the realm of Nikunja or in Vrindavan towards the divine couple, or even like in Vrindavan towards Radha Krishna, then I have to experience in this life itself that who is my Radha Krishna here in person. If I cannot see my spiritual master as Radha Krishna, as in that embodiment, what is the guarantee, what is the assurance that I will handle the playful mysteries of Radha and Krishna in the Nikunj realm? There's no guarantee, there's no assurance like that, no. So the status of spiritual master, that ways, that his status, his position. For a disciple, he's as good or even more, way more, cannot say how much way more, than Shyam Sundar himself. Furthermore, than Radharani himself. Then furthermore, seeing what the status of spiritual master as the choicest associate, as the choicest maid servant, as the beautiful, choicest kinkari of Srimati Radharani, as a Sakhi, a friend, a Manjari of Srimati Radharani. That is spiritual master, the status of him. This actually, nectar of instruction, if we see, brings out our Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they bring out. In our own time, we can see Prabhupada's writings, Prabhupada writes in the purport of Bhagavad Gita 434 that real advancement in Krishna consciousness, something I'm not getting the exact words, but real advancement in Krishna consciousness is the satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master. Spiritual master is self-realized. Now, I need to come in a relationship, loving relationship with him to understand the magnanimity of my spiritual master, of our spiritual master. His status, his position. This thing. And elsewhere, Bhagavatam, so many places, Lord Shri Krishna tells to Uddhavji in 11th canto, many places. The status, the position of Shri Guru in 3rd canto, in 5th canto, 7th canto, lots. And same in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. This thing. So the 4th for us practitioner in our realization, understanding the position and status of Shri Guru is non-different from the status of Gauranita, is non-different from the status of Radha Krishna, is non-different from the status of a Manjari of Radharani. That's the ultimate. To realize and to experience. Now this is why it is a science of self-realization. We have to experience it in our heart. How would we experience? Provided we have a good attitude, humble Krishna conscious attitude, we are taking good inspiring association, begging for mercy. Only by the mercy of spiritual master will we experience this. But this should be our entire focus. Now the 5th stage, what else is there left? Any thoughts, questions, comments or clarification so far? And any thoughts, what could be the 5th stage, the ultimate, the highest stage? So, the ultimate, the highest stage, a practitioner can experience in his or her consciousness the ultimate, say, liberation for the soul, to be ultimately entangled in blissful existence, blissful participation in that blissful experience is what? Realizing his own identity. Here, realizing his own transcendental identity. The the thing which we are aiming for in Krishna consciousness, Mahaprabhu's teachings, Chaitanya Charitamrita, bring it on screen. Chapter 22 of Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 156 to 157. बाह्य अंतर इहर दुईत साधन, बाह्य अंतर इहर दुईत साधन, बाह्य साधक देह करे श्रवण कीर्तन, मन निज सिद्ध देह करिया भावन, मन निज सिद्ध देह करिया भावन, रात्रि दिने ब्रजे कोरे कृष्ण रसेवन. So, nightly read translation. It is Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 156 to 157. So, this is the Mahaprabhu's teaching, and this is what Mahaprabhu is saying us, that our objective, what we should be, the premise of our, it is again subjective. So many message is the same. Call it Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Message is the same, and it's our subjective experiences. So it should be on the screen. Please read Natalie when it appears on the screen. So Natalie, it is on the screen whenever convenient. Read, please.
There are two processes by which one may
There
are two processes by which one may execute this Raganuga Bhakti, external and internal. When self-realized, the advanced devotee externally remains like a neophyte and executes all the shastric injunctions, especially those concerning hearing and chanting. But within his mind, in his original, purified, self-realized position, he serves Krishna in Vrindavan in his particular way. He serves Krishna 24 hours a day, all day and night.
Haribol. So now this is, I'm not getting the proper word. This is Mahaprabhu's, like, how do I say? This is what is our objective in Krishna consciousness, if that's any better word of understanding. There are two processes by which one may execute this Raganuga Bhakti. Krishna Bhakti is very condensed. Raganuga Bhakti means very condensed, very focused, very absorbed and detailed as well. So when self-realized, the advanced devotee externally remains like a neophyte, as in he also reads chant, goes, takes darshan, parikrama, takes rest, that sort of thing. That's self-realized devotee. When self-realized, the advanced devotee externally remains like a neophyte and executes all the sastric injunctions, especially those concerning hearing, chanting, everything. But within his mind, in his original purified self-realized position, he serves Krishna in Vrindavan in his particular way. He serves Krishna 24 hours a day, all day and night. This is a message for us. who is the target of this message? We are the target of this message. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gave us Chaitanya Charitamrita for the pleasure of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through his blessings and mercy, through the blessings and mercy of the Shad Goswamis. So this is non-different. This message is non-different from the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is it aimed to? For us practicing Krishna consciousness. Devotees, for the practitioners. And aim is what? To become self-realized. So what does it say? When we become self-realized, externally, we don't expect that we will have horns, growing on our heads. Nothing of that. It's an internal change in our consciousness, wholesome change in our consciousness. Externally would be the same. It's not like our voice will change, our height will change. No, not like that. And now the most critical is what? This external and internal. So externally we are a devotee doing the rules and regulations and following, chanting, reading, hearing, doing seva like this. But within his mind, this is the big but, and this is the thing. Within his mind, in his original purified self-realized position. So we have an opportunity in this life itself to understand what is my original purified self-realized position. Jivere Swarup Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. We all are servitors of Lord Shri Krishna since eternity and for eternity. But is this body the servitor? No, this body has its limitation. In constitutional, we all are servitor, and now it is finding out which body. As we say, right? We are not this body. If we are not this body, then which body are we? We must be some body, right? Now it is that understanding in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Who am I? Whose am I? So within his mind, as in his internal state of Krishna consciousness, he is through vision, through inspiration, through experience, in the form of dreams, vision, real life transformation experiences, we have this sublime opportunity to experience, to realize our original, my own identity. Who am I? My original pure state. I am a spirit soul. That's the beginning. And spirit soul means I am pure. But who am I, that pure personality? What is my relationship with Radha Krishna? Now in here, when we say he serves Krishna, it is not just Krishna, it is Radha Krishna. In Vrindavan, in his particular way. So, if we see the synonyms, we won't find this word particular way. If you please go click on that text 156 to 157. I wonder if we find any Bengali or Sanskrit word which says in his particular way. Mane nija siddhade kariya bhavana. In man, and man is within quotes. You see? There is a reason why Bahya is within quote, why only man is within quote, why only Bahya is within quote. Mane nija siddhade is in our internal contemplation, in our internal bhajan, in our internal practice. And this is something I cannot certify, okay, yes, I have attained it. One who from his mouth, love is something when we speak out from our mouth and saying, I love you, or I love Krishna, I love my spiritual master, then he does not love his spiritual master. He's kind of ruined it. When I call it out, I love you, it diminishes love. So a practitioner, that's humility. He will never ever claim that I have realized my status. I have realized my original pure status, my relationship with Radha Krishna. No, he will never claim, he will never speak out. But in our internal contemplation, in our practice, we meditate, we desire, we hanker, we contemplate, we vision, we dream, and we attain, and we see this blessing. Mane nija siddha de kariya bhavanam. Bhavan is contemplate, think, meditate. Ratri dine kare braje Krishna rasevana. So in the word meanings, if we see, there is nowhere that okay, in his particular way. Yeah? So, but our practice is a very particular practice, very focused practice. And this is the fifth stage. Fifth stage is ultimate self-realization. We have realized we are not this body, we are spirit soul. It's a great realization, great start. Next, we can understand, realize even at theory level or whatever level, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Big step up. Third, Radharani is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The status of Radharani. Big step up. Then the status of spiritual master. Now the status of spiritual master is all pervading. It is all encompassing, all pervading. And then realizing my own status, my own position. This thing. So I am not this body. This I understand, I realize. But then the journey will be complete, the circle will be complete when I realize which body am I. Then what is my role, relationship with Radha Krishna? What capacity do I serve them? Is it any making sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
So in the translation, in the word meaning, we won't find this particular way, but this is Prabhupada's writings, Prabhupada's encouragement to all of us, and that's the journey of Krishna consciousness. Not to manufacture or not to force feed ourselves, not to impose what is my identity and my personal relationship with Radha Krishna. No, it is there, given to us. Now we take on this journey and the revelation will come about in the heart. So we'll read some more text, but again, we'll see a bit on our attitude, because attitude is the key throughout. So to further more elaborate this cause, this mood, mission of Mahaprabhu, message, mercy of Mahaprabhu, which is coming to us through the divine grace of Srila Bhakti Swarup Govind Maharaj, of our dear most Shri Guru. We see now our status of, self-realization. Like Prabhupada gives this quote, it works both ways, that God realization follows self-realization, or self-realization follows God realization. Now, I believe in societal sense, the most talked about in any religious setting, say in any spiritual setting, is what? That self-realization follows God realization. Self-realization follows God realization, which is true, that if we are becoming self-realized, we'll follow like we are following God realization, and same also, what? God realization follows self-realization. God realization following self-realization. So the ultimate status of spiritual master for us to realize is what? That my spiritual master is a Manjari. Now, why do we say this is the ultimate and this is to be realized? We discussed in our previous sessions, but just to briefly say, Nikunjayo no ratikeli siddhai yayali bhiyuktirpekshaniya tatra didaksha tativallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So please bring on screen this Guru Ashtkam prayers, the translation. We can find it in KK Songs lyrics, that website, Guru Ashtkam, and text 6 and 7 only will read, 5 and 6 only will read. So whenever, whosoever Ritik, Akhil Samit Murthy or whosoever, please see in KK Songs or Netly, whosoever, please share screen. So Guru Ashtkam, right? Shiradhikama Davayor Para Madhurya Leela गुणरूपनाम्नां प्रतीक्षणा स्वादनलोलोपस्यां वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्. The position and status of spiritual master. So we'll read just the translation of 5 and 6, please. So we request Amanda read 5, and if Sheetal is available, could she kindly read 6?
The spiritual master is always eager to hear and chant about the unlimited conjugal pastimes of Radhika and Madhava and their qualities, names, and forms. The spiritual master aspires to relish these at every moment. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master.
So, Sheetal, would you be okay to read next? Text 6 on the screen. Or Andrew, please read text 6.
The spiritual master is very dear because he is expert in assisting the gopis, who at different times make different tasteful arrangements for the perfection of Radha and Krishna's conjugal loving affairs within the groves of Vrindavan. I offer my most humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master.
So, I mean, purposely, and again, we don't like taking things out of context. We don't like taking things in isolation. There's no need to take things out of context or to speak like choose and pick and choose as we feel comfortable or as per our liking. No. The subject matter is the status of spiritual master, and these two texts stand out, completely stand out, 5 and 6. So as we read in 5, right? If I read the 5, the translation, the second sentence says, the spiritual master aspires to relish. For a disciple, not aspires to relish, the spiritual master relishes these at every moment. Not aspiring. He is relishing. He is always eager to hear, and he's always hearing. He's always eager to chant, and he's always chanting. But chanting what? And hearing what? The unlimited conjugal pastimes of Radha and Madhav. Pastimes of Radha and Madhav are conjugal. These are the Madhurya Ras, the Unnat Ujjwal Rasa, the topmost Rasa. And their qualities, names and forms. And the spiritual master relishes this at every moment. Then the next says, right, the spiritual master is very dear because he's expert in assisting the gopis. So, I mean, the question is natural and the answer is natural, right? If the spiritual master is expert in assisting the gopis, who is the spiritual master? Naturally, the spiritual master is a gopi. Is it not? Otherwise, the gopis do not take seva from anyone else who is not a gopi. No. And gopi of what, in what mood, what bhav? Not in vatsalya bhav, not in parental mood, in conjugal mood. The spiritual master is very dear because he's expert in assisting the gopis, who at different times make different tasteful arrangements for the perfection of Radha and Krishna's conjugal loving affairs within the groves of Vrindavan. I offer my humble obeisances under the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. So, it is transcendental to say that my spiritual master is a man of Vaikuntha. That my spiritual master is a Vaikuntha personality, is a Vaikuntha man. But because Mahaprabhu takes things to another level, Radharani takes things to another level, this is a rasa platform altogether, which is so sweet, sublime, and words cannot describe how much beyond evolved they are same. So in our consciousness, we have to realize that my spiritual master, our spiritual master, is a man, is a personality of Vaikuntha, sure, is a personality of Nikunja, of the groves of Vrindavan. That is more specific. To say, oh, I'm aiming for Vaikuntha. It gives us Vaikuntha where there is no anxiety, freedom from all anxiety, freedom from birth, that old age disease. That is fine. Vaikuntha means the spiritual sky. But specifically speaking, we are after Vrindavan, Braj. Also, what seva? Nikunja seva. Nikunja yono rati keli siddhe. So then our spiritual master, he's a man, he's a personality of Nikunja. That. Which means he's a man of Vaikuntha, but man of Vaikuntha could still be a bit general. We don't want to miss out on any miscommunication. We don't want to, sorry, not miss out. We don't want to be living in any sort of miscommunication. Our spiritual master is a man of Nikunj. That should be our realization. So if we are who we follow, if we genuinely become a disciple of our spiritual master, what will we attain? We will attain this only, the seva of Nikunj. Because if we are serving him and if we are following him, who is he? He is a Manjari. Manjaris are gopis. He is a Manjari. And if we follow him, what will we attain? We will also attain that same mood, that same bhav, that same absorption, that same attainment. So, fair enough. I'm just saying, so this is the status of spiritual master, say a bit. And in that is our status included. Like when we understand Lord Shri Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our status is included. When we understand the status of spiritual master, yes, that's when we get to know our own status. And that has to be our final. That yes, this is how we become spiritual masters. Otherwise, we have not yet become our spiritual masters. If we are not praying, crying, hankering, desiring for it. And it's not a matter of force, it's not a matter of pressure, it's not a matter of how many years or how many lifetimes or, or how long or what. It's a matter of becoming soft. It's a matter of becoming humble. This is why we can always loop into it. It's simple to be happy, but difficult to be simple. What will erase this difficulty is devotee association, our attitude. Yeah? So the fifth stage is, we cannot say that, okay, we understand my spiritual master is a Manjari in the realm of Nikunj and I've got it all. No. If we say it like this, then it's incomplete. Because ultimately we have to realize our position, our status. Who am I? So am I. If I consider myself to be my spiritual master is a Manjari, so am I. You know? That thing. So our relationship with spiritual master, how has it to evolve? That we have to become a Shishya, a disciple of spiritual master, then a loving friend of spiritual master, which we'll see more. So now coming more specific into what is Mahaprabhu saying, our status, our self-realization, as we read now, that in our mind internally we have to become self-realized and think of Radha Krishna 24 hours in Vrindavan in that conjugal mood and enhance their pastimes, and in a particular way. So what particular way? We'll now just read certain translations. So Ritik, Natalie or Akhil Rasamit Murthy, bring on screen Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 8, but if you can go in advanced view and just tick on translation and purport. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 8, in advanced view, just select translations and purport, and once that is done, we will see translations and purports from text 200 onwards, 200, 201 onwards. From 201 onwards, we'll see those once it appear on screen, those translations and purport, and we'll read from 201 till about 219 we'll read. Just translation in Prabhupada. It is all self-explanatory, yes. It is all evident there. This is Prabhupada's writings, this is Prabhupada's teachings, what we are going through, what we are studying, what we are reading. So let's read in this manner, shall we? Amanda, then Andrew, then Akhil Rasamit Murthy, then Ritik, then Natalie, then myself, and then Amanda. Let's go in that loop. So we'll read translation, and wherever purport comes, we'll read purport also.
The pastimes of Radha and Krishna are very confidential. They cannot be understood through the mellows of servitude, fraternity, or parental affection.
Actually, only the gopis have the right to appreciate these transcendental pastimes, and only from them can these pastimes be expanded.
Actually, only the gopis have the
With
right,
the
have the
okay, you
right.
can read both.
Okay. Actually, only the gopis have the right, the appreciation, their right, transition pastime, and only from them can their pastime have be expanded.
Ritik need next, then Natalie, then myself.
Without the gopis, these pastimes between Radha and Krishna cannot be nourished. Only by their cooperation are such pastimes broadcast. It is their business to taste the mellows.
Now, especially in this context and in this section, most places, some places maybe not, most places where Gopi is mentioned, that could be replaced with Sakhis or with Manjaris. Huh? Where Gopi is mentioned. So little bit scroll up. No, go in 201, scroll up, please. As in, let's see, yeah. So 202 says actually only the gopis have the right to appreciate these transcendental pastimes. Gopis meaning Sakhi Manjaris, and only from them can these pastimes be expanded. Radha Krishna are the supreme enjoyers. They are the supreme hero and heroines. The pastimes are expanded through the agency of Sakhi Manjaris. What's the next text? 203. So if you can, in your screen, we just see them. And yeah, so only the gopis have the right to appreciate. So gopis is fine, but again, speaking more specific, Sakhi Manjari and even specific Manjaris have the right to appreciate these transcendental pastimes, and only from them can these pastimes be expanded. 203. Without the Manjaris, these pastimes between Radha Krishna cannot be nourished. Only by their cooperation are such pastimes broadcast. It is their business to taste the mellows. Ritik, did you read this 203? I think you read, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, so we hear from Amanda and Andrew.
I just wanted to ask, could you please explain what Saki means?
Yeah, so, we decided to do one more session, but apologies another day, wherein we'll try to understand just what Manjari means, what Sakhi means, and a bit more detail of it. But for now, definitely, Sakhi means friend. Uh, just saying, Sakhi in Sanskrit, in Braj, Sakhi means friend, female friend. Like, don't take it so literal. Do you know Amanda any Spanish? Or
Not
in,
not much. I recognize a few words.
so do you recognize these two words, amigo?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
it's a male friend,
And what's for a female friend?
amiga.
Amiga, amigo, right? Amigo is a male friend, amiga is a female friend, right? So
Yeah.
Sakha is a personality who is in a male body and a friend. That's Sakha. Sakhi is a personality who is in a female body and a friend. That's Sakhi. Now, in Vrindavan, everyone is a gop or a gopi. It's a cowherd community. Okay? So Krishna's pride is what? I am Gopal. I am Gop. That's his pride. That's his honor, that the badge he carries. That I am Yashoda's son. I am Nand Baba's son. I am a Gop. I am a cowherd boy. That is Krishna, original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shastras also say that. Huh? And Radharani is the Gopi. She is the Parama Gopi. And Krishna is the Param Go. Go means senses. Go means cows. Go means Golok as well. Go means one who gives protection and pleasure to the cows and senses. That. So Krishna is the Param Gop, the ultimate Gop, the supreme Gop, and Radharani is the Param Gopika, the supreme Gopika, the ultimate Gopika. So in Vrindavan, this Mahaprabhu's teachings, what we are aspiring in Braj consciousness, everyone is a Gopa or a Gopi, or a Sakha or a Sakhi, of the divine couple. Now, when we say Sakha or Sakhi, Sakha means someone in a male body who is a friend, someone in a female body who is a friend. But in our context, Sakha or Sakhi means what Radha Krishna, these pastimes which we are reading, which we have little bit read and will read more, these are the conjugal pastimes of their Keshor Leela, the eternal youthful age, the blossomed age, the age that they come and stay forever. So Sakhi in here is also of that similar age. Some Sakhis, they are slightly younger to Radharani. Some Sakhis could be a few months older to Radharani. But similar age, Radha Krishna and this Sakhi Manjari, this Mandli, this group, they are of the similar youthful age. And Manjaris, we'll read a bit more and come to Manjari as well. But for now, does it answer your question, Amanda?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Also, at some point, please remind us, we'll glorify Tulsi Maharani's prayer as well, Aarti as well, which we know you know. So we'll sing from there as well, we'll bring out, say, huh? So Ritik, whenever you can share on screen, and next Natalie can read 204 onwards, we'll read translation and purports, wherever purports is available.
Without the help of the gopis, without the help of the manjaris, one cannot enter into these pastimes. Only one who worships the Lord in the ecstasy of the manjaris, following in their footsteps, can engage in the service of Sri Sri Radha Krishna in the bushes of Vrindavan. Only then can one understand the conjugal love between Radha and Krishna. There is no other procedure for understanding.
Hari Bol. Now, just a bit to see the authenticity of this message, Ritik, just go on the Sanskrit. And this is kind of homework for us, let's say. In our own time, we should explore more. Natalie read the translation, right? Now, scroll down in the Sanskrit, or this words in this. If we see, there's nothing where we'll find, okay, this is procedure-wise, and you only and all. But when Prabhupada writes, look, he's giving us the essence, the meaning. Without the help of the Manjaris, one cannot enter into this pastime. So without the help of the Gopis, Sakhi Manjaris. So, okay, at this point, we can little bit express ourselves a bit more. Sakhi means a personality in Vrindavan, a divine transcendental personality in Vrindavan, in a female body. And by default, when saying Sakhi of Radharani, it is understood she would be of the similar youthful age of Radharani. Yashoda also has her Sakhis, but Yashoda's is elderly age, so naturally her friends like this, because her friends also, they called Yashoda is Sakhi like this, or that way they are addressed. So Sakhi means, Radharani Sakhis means those who are of the eternal youthful age of Radharani and in female body. Hmm? Manjaris are also Sakhis or Gopis. But the main distinction between Sakhi and Manjari is what? Manjari is one who is an eternal servant of Srimati Radharani, who serves Srimati Radharani. And Sakhis also serve, but Sakhis are more friends of Srimati Radharani. To give a bit of a general societal example, and please pardon my limitation in here. We see the princess, she has her friends. Who are her friends? They are also princes, right? Her friends are also princes. Then the princes, there must be a term as well. Maid servants. The princes have maid servants, right? Maid servants, and generally the prince's maid servants are female, who go have access to her chamber. They go in and out of her chamber. They clean her chamber. They or kind of clean her wardrobe. Then some of the prince's maid servants, they arrange her coat. They arrange her hair. They arrange her makeup, make her wash, make her dry, her feet, take her shower, all of this is, right? Fair to say? Manjaris are these who do these all seva for Radharani. Taking Radharani for avisar, as in for rendezvous with Krishna, meeting with Krishna, dressing Radharani, doing makeup of Radharani, arranging her room, arranging her courtyard, all of this, or in this groves of Vrindavan. Manjaris are the one who look after these groves of Vrindavan, as in preparing them, those groves of Vrindavan. So these are the Manjaris. So again, like princess, and she has the servants, right, who kind of looks after the routine, schedule, and things like this. So likewise, Radharani's, these are her maid servants who serve Radharani in all capacities. And Sakhis of Radharani's, they need not necessarily, because there's princess meeting another princess, there's this friendship. So the princess of another princess, she won't be arranging the wardrobe, she won't be tidying the shoes, all those things. Maybe she may dress her hair, she may dress her and all, but she won't be doing other things. You see, that sort of difference. And the Sakhis of Radharani, some of them, they have an independent relationship with Krishna. They share an independent conjugal relationship with Krishna. But these Manjaris, they do not share any independent relationship with Krishna. Their all relationship with Krishna is via Srimati Radharani. Their fidelity, loyalty is to Radharani. Now, Sakhis of, like Ras Leela, we understand, right? The Ras Leela pastime happened. So, in the Ras Leela pastime, Lord Shri Krishna did perform Ras, as in he danced, and this is transcendental Divya dance he had with the gopis. So, these Ras Leela pastimes, in this Ras Leela, who participated? Radha Krishna, naturally, they were dancing, they were having this pastime. And Sakhis of Radharani. Krishna was dancing with the Sakhis of Radharani. And all different Sakhis, gopis, Krishna was. But Manjaris were also present there. But none of the Manjaris were dancing with Krishna. So, Krishna has conjugal affairs with many Sakhis meaning many gopis in Vrindavan, who are Sakhis of Radharani in some form and shape. But Krishna does not have any conjugal affairs with these Manjaris, gopis of Vrindavan. He wants to, but their loyalty of these manjaris is so profound that he does not get. He wants to touch these manjaris, these gopis. He wants to embrace them. He wants to pull them towards himself. He wants to rendezvous. He wants to dance with them, sing with them, spend the night with them, whatnot. But their loyalty, fidelity is so much with Radharani. And in all genuine sense, they do not find any charm in independently enjoying with Krishna, and they don't find Krishna beautiful, handsome, or him. Why do they find Krishna beautiful, handsome? Only and only because Radharani finds him beautiful and handsome. So we also find you beautiful and handsome. But that doesn't mean that we engage in any conjugal affair with you. Be very, very extremely clear on that, Sham Sundar. So these manjaris, they chastise Sham Sundar. Yeah? So just to, for our understanding in societal sense, these princes, they play with other princes, they are friends with other princes, they will go on princes like dates, dance, with prince. But of course, in Vrindavan, there's only one prince, Krishna only. Huh? But these maid servants of these princes, they would be living in the palace, but in don't know if in cellar or some out servant room, somewhere else, and they would be coming in, going out, and they have access. They have access. They can access to the prince's room, just knock, or without even knocking, they can access. And princess, she finds her heart shares more with whom? With these manjaris. Then the Sakhis of Radharani. Again, the princess example say, the princess sometimes, no, and so like sometimes, some rich man, he is a driver, a chauffeur, if I'm pronouncing it any correct, a rich man, a very, very rich man, he is a driver, a chauffeur who drives him, and he has been driving him for years. So, it happens, right? That rich man becomes so friendly and open and comfortable with the drivers. So he shares details with the drivers about his business meetings, about his personal likes, dislikes. All of this he shares with him. So many intimate details that he won't be sharing with his business friends with whom he hangs out, playing golf, going for business events. Those friends, he won't share those details, what he shares with his drivers. Fair enough. Likewise, Princess also, she would share so much intimate details with her maidservants. While the maidservants are combing the hair of the princess or doing her makeup or, making dishes or making her eat or washing her feet, massaging her feet, she would share, oh, this prince, I like him so much. We went there yesterday. He was this naughty. He was this flirty. Or I want to go there. And can you help me? How to dress? How to, impress? What to, all such things. So she feels very comfortable, open with these maid servants, the princess, as opposed to with her friends. Huh? The princess, like, I don't know, princes of wherever, Scotland, England, Europe, Rajasthan, wherever, she will have friends with other princes of Sweden, Denmark, Germany, and all. But she may not be this open with those princes to share such details as she feels comfortable sharing with her maidservants. Oh, have I put on weight? Have I not put on weight? I think all such things. So that's the somewhat, pardon my limitations, please. This is what the distinction say between Sakhi and Manjari. They both are friends. They both are gopis. Sakhi is also a gopi. Manjari is also a gopi. They both are friends of Radharani. But the status, when again some royal event, royal assembly, princes will be dining and other princes' friends will be dining. So um, uh, a wait, a maid servant will be pulling the chair for them and making them sit. Right. So in status, her status is high. But in the mood of service, the maid servant's position is way more exalted, way more exalted. So likewise, some Sakhis, they share an independent relationship with Sham Sundar. They go on rasa with Sham Sundar. They go on walks and talks with Sham Sundar, like this. or they had the rasa dance. Now these manjaris, they won't be doing such activities with Sham Sundar. But in status, the Sakhis are more superior, but in the mood of seva, in that joy, the Manjaris experience the joy. They say that whatever joy Sham Sundar, Radharani experiences in union with Sham Sundar, Manjaris experience much more than that. How much more? Double, triple, 4 times, 5 times, 7 times, 10 times, 100 times. Huh? So that's like Gopi, Sakhi, Manjari, and somewhat distinction between them. Hope this is somewhat helpful. So the status, what we are talking of, what Mahaprabhu has come to give is Radha Dasyam. Meaning Dasyam means servitorship of Srimati Radharani. And the position we are aspiring to attain is Manjari position, Manjari Bhav, Manjari status, that position. Hai. That is what Mahaprabhu, when he said, na, Bhaiya Antara, we read the translation, right? That in his mind, in his self-realized form, what is Shri Guru mentioned? Na? We read Shri Guru is assisting the gopis. So Shri Guru is a Manjari who is assisting the gopis. Like that. And the divine couple, Shri Guru is assisting that. So, okay, just at this point, maybe we can refer to Tulsi Maharani's prayers as well. So, Amanda, would you, if you remember, I know you remember this, how does that go? That line, that stanza. More Abhilash.
Vilas kunja diovas, Nayane heri basara, Yugala parasi.
What's the next stanza as well, please? Ei Nivedana Dharo.
Saki anugata koro, Nayane. Is this right?
Seva
Sevadi karo diye, Yugala parasi.
Koro Nije Dasi. So bring him here, Ritik. Very good. So we'll read translation. And again, we won't read all, just these, what we just read. So number 3 and 4. 2 also we can read. So if I read second translation and then Amanda can read third and Ritik can read fourth, or Amanda can read third and fourth. I will read second. Whoever takes shelter of you, Vrinda Devi, of you meaning Vrinda Devi, has his wishes fulfilled. Bestowing your mercy on him, you make him a resident of Vrindavan.
My desire is that you will also give me a residence in the pleasure groves of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna.
I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Raj. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maidservant.
So many times, we have read this Aarti, this prayer. And living in temple, we read it daily, we sing it daily. Kuruvashtam, we sing it daily, we read it daily. And the translation, the meaning is there on the surface of it. Yeah. It's just when we come across a pure devotee of the Lord and when we appreciate, recognize, understand, then those meanings, everything come about. So in here, now, just I say a bit jokingly, hopefully jokingly, every day, whenever I sing it or when I had the blissful opportunity of living and serving in a temple, attending Mangal Aarti, I lie so much, and this is again a lie. The third one, my desire is that you will always give me a residence in the pleasure groves of Vrindavan. Just a bit jokingly, sometimes devotees, they sing this song, what? More ei abhilash, vilas kunje diyo vas. Abhilash means desire. More means mine. A means this is my only desire. More A Abhilash, this is my only desire. Vilas Kunja Diyo was to give me a residence in the pleasure groves of Shivindavan Dham. But sometimes devotees jokingly sing what? More A Abhilash, United Kingdom Diyo was, or America Diyo was. Sometimes not in temple, but outside settings like this. Point is, I am singing this and I read the translation, but have my desire been channelized that I desire nothing? No, nowhere, India, UK, US, Europe, wherever, nowhere, but shelter, this residence in the groves of Vrindavan. So who has access in Vrindavan? Only Sakhi Manjaris. Only Sakhi Manjaris. And thus within my vision. So who are we? If we are singing this, if we are praying for this, what are we singing and praying for? To become a Manjari only we are praying for. We don't know, we don't realize, but actually it is the thing. So what we are praying is nothing out of context, it's nothing wrong. And now we should be more aware and clear, and we pray, beg for it, now more clearly. This is why I say this is the highest attainment of in our consciousness. Beginning with, you are not this body. That makes it clear, okay, I'm not this material body. Even though I say, okay, I'm an eternal servant of Krishna, so I am not this, body is not the servant. Then who is that? Who is that eternal servant of Krishna? Manjari. I'm that Manjari. And we read, Radha Krishna are one, not two. So the fourth says, I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Raja. If we know a bit of Hindi, Sanskrit, or like this, it's similar to Hindi also, right? A Nivedan Dharo. Nivedan, those who speak Hindi, Nivedan means application. This is my petition, my application, desire. Accept it. Sakhir Anugata Karo. Now here Sakhi term has come, right? Anugat means under care. Put me under the care. Of whom? Of a Sakhi. Sakhir Anugata Karo. Seva Adhikar. And what we are asking? We are asking for Seva. Diye Koro Nija Dasi. So who we are wanting to become a Dasi, not a Sakhi of Radharani. We are hankering for that Seva and that Dasatva. So who is that hankering for? Manjari. A Manjari hankers for that. Manjari is crying for subservient nature. Sakhir Anugata Karo. Shri Guru Anugata Karo. Shri Guru is our lead Manjari. And we aspire to be. We are to be Manjaris. We are aspiring to be. We can never think, I have become one yet. No way. I want to become one. I desire to become one. As people say, every one of us have a what? To-do list. Is it not? We all carry a to-do list. And some of us, perhaps not all, have a to-be list as well, right? So this should be our to-be list. This is the to-be thing. I want to be a Manjari. I desire to be a Manjari. We want to be in this journey, in this process of becoming a Manjari. Manjari is like the flower bud coming out, blossoming that from in our consciousness. So, okay, fine. We can continue reading those translations. 204, 205. Natalie read the translation, right? We can see again on the screen. So, this is the final, ultimate, the topmost realization we can have in our consciousness. But the central point is Shri Guru, all pervading. So we may understand, we may sing chant, oh my Gurudev, why I say this is the complete. I may say my Gurudev is a Manjari, but it won't be complete until and unless I consider myself to be a Manjari. So am I. Coming to that state, then it's complete. Then Shri Guru would be ultimately pleased, the most pleased. So purport, the means for returning home, for going back to Godhead in devotional service. But everyone, the means for returning home, for going back to Godhead is devotional service. But everyone has a different taste in the Lord's service. Now see, Prabhupada's sentence, each and every sentence is so broad, so clear. Is devotional service, meaning bhakti. Bhakti is the way to attain Golok or Vaikuntha. But everyone has a different taste. Could be in Dasya Bhav, Sakhya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav, parental, servitor, or friendship, fraternity, or conjugal. One may be inclined to serve the Lord in servitude, Dasya, fraternity, Sakhya, friendship, or parental, Vatsalya, but it's a big but, it's a big but. But none of these can enable one to enter into the service of the Lord in conjugal love. None of this. And we sing Radha Madhav, who are the embodiment of conjugal love. Whenever we say Radha Madhav, it is referring to Vrindavan. It is referring to conjugal Nikunj Seva, the conjugal pastimes. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. Kunj means what? The groves. Bihari means what? One's who is relishing, who is having fun. Who is having rendezvous in there. So, Radha Madhav, we sing na Guru Ashtakam. This is, please correct me, Andrew, Amanda, Natalie, Anuja, Ritik, Akhil Rasamit Murthy, we all are intelligent souls. Please correct me if we are reading, understanding, speaking anything outside of Prabhupada's writings, teachings, anything outside of Krishna consciousness, anything outside of Vedic literature. At any point, if you think that we are forcing ourselves, we are speaking out of context, please shout. So, but none of this can enable one to enter into the service of the Lord in conjugal love. To attain such service, one has to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. Now in here, gopis, I would substitute the term gopi to manjari. To attain such service, one has to follow in the footsteps of the manjaris in the ecstasy of Sakhi Bhav, in the ecstasy of Manjari Bhav. Yeah. So for us, whose footsteps do we need to follow? Spiritual masters. I mean, it should be a no-brainer. It should be a no-brainer. We have to follow the footsteps of the spiritual master. And then we'll attain in the ecstasy of this Sakhi Bhav, Gopi Bhav, or Manjari Bhav. Then only can one understand the transcendental mellow of conjugal love. Scroll down. One who expands the conjugal love of Krishna and his enjoyment amongst the gopis is called a Sakhi. Such a person is a confidential gopi in the conjugal affairs. So, Krishna is the only enjoyer, meaning the only male. Rest are to give him enjoyment. And those who are in the conjugal mood, Radharani and these gopis, they are all expansions of Radharani. Chaitanya Chaitamrit states that. Such assistants are like jewels in the form of Krishna's confidantes. The actual business of the Sakhis, or actually here again I would substitute the Sakhi with the Manjari. The actual business of the Manjaris is described thus in Ujjwal Neelmani, a book written by Srila Rupa Goswami. So in here, 16 say activities are mentioned, and this is what the Manjaris do. And it's not just limited to them, more. In the conjugal pastimes of Krishna, Krishna is the hero, the supreme hero, Nayak, and Radhika is the supreme heroine, Naika, heroine. The first business, okay, so let us read these in turn. And Andrew read the first business, Amanda second, Akhil Rasamit Murthy third, Ritik fourth, Natalie fifth, Anand Vigra sixth, Anuja if you can, then seventh, and like this we read, okay? This paragraph.
The first business of the gopis is to chant the glories of both the hero and the heroine.
And sorry, when we, in this paragraph, when we can read gopis, that's also not wrong, but would be more close or more specific if we, whenever gopis come, we substitute, we replace it with manjari. Huh? So, Andrew, please read again. And wherever gopis come, we replace it with manjari.
The first business of the manjaris is to chant the glories of both the hero and the heroine.
Their second business is to gradually create a situation in which the hero may be attracted to the heroine and vice versa.
Okay, Ritik, read third.
The third business is to induce both of them to approach each other.
The fourth business is to surrender unto Krishna. The fifth is to create a jovial atmosphere. The sixth, to give them a shared.
Okay. Anuja, if you can read fifth or sixth, or she may struggle to read, so let me read. Yes, my eyes is going to fifth, so I will read just from fifth again. Huh? The fifth is to create a jovial atmosphere. The sixth, to give them assurance to enjoy their pastimes. Huh? And the seventh, to dress and decorate both hero and heroine. So, Andrew, Amanda, please read. You both read the rest of the paragraph, please.
The eighth, to show expertise in expressing their desires.
The ninth, to conceal the faults of the heroine.
The 10th, to cheat their respective husbands and relatives.
The 11th, to educate.
The 12th, to enable both the hero and heroine to meet at the proper time.
The 13th, to fan the hero and heroine.
The 14th, to sometimes reproach the hero and heroine.
The 15th, to set conversations in motion.
And the 16th, to protect the heroine by various means.
This is the ultimate purport, is it not? Look at the, this is Srila Rupa Goswami is writing, Prabhupada is quoting him. And it's not again limited to 15 of this. Is not? Now, is it any less clear here? I wonder, how many of us practicing devotees have read Bhagavad Gita cover to cover? How many of practicing devotees us have read Bhagavatam cover to cover and Chaitanya Charitamrita cover to cover? Then Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Ishopanishad. And why don't we read? And is it not pleasing Prabhupada? Should we not? We all admit so painstakingly Prabhupada wrote this, In the very end of his life, look at his physical state, what not? One has to check out. We have to check out personally within ourselves. If we are reading, not reading. So I said, no, it is simple to be happy, but difficult to be simple. Oh, I find reading difficult. I find this difficult. I find that difficult. Our attitude is not clear. Who are we associating and how are we associating? Devotee association is the key, is the nucleus. So this Krishna is the transcendental hero, Radhika is the transcendental heroine. The gopis, the first business of the manjaris is to chant the glories of both the hero and heroine. Another day we'll do something on japa as well and everything, and we'll read them again. The second business is to gradually create a situation in which Krishna may be attracted to Radharani and vice versa. This is something manjaris, this is their role responsibility. This is what they do. This is their identity. So, when we read that Chaitanya Charitamrita 22, Madhya Lila 22, 156, 157, that He constantly thinks of Radha Krishna and serves them in a particular way. What is that particular way? This is that particular way. This is this can be our identity, not yet become, but can be and should be. Our focus, our identity, our position, our status. That's the fifth most realization, the ultimate, that yes, my spiritual master is a Manjari and so am I. So am I. The second business, to create a situation where the Krishna and Radharani and vice versa become attracted towards each other. The third business is to induce both of them to approach each other. They both are seeing each other, but they both are a bit shy, a bit hesitant. Who will make the first call? Who will make the first step? Who will do the initiation? So it is the manjaris, the maid servants, who break the ice, who make them calm, okay, comfortable, don't worry. Because every time they meet, they experience, oh, this is the first time I'm meeting. I don't know how to speak to this young girl, Krishna. I don't know how to speak to this beautiful girl. I don't want to mess it up by speaking something that may disturb her. And Radharani, oh my God, who is this beautiful personality? I'm seeing him from the first time. How should I walk? How should I look, not look? I'm confused. I don't know. They experience such things. And who is it who calms them and who makes them comfortable? Manjaris. Is to help them approach each other. The fourth business is to surrender into Krishna. And again, Krishna meaning Radha Krishna. The Manjaris. The fifth is to create a jovial atmosphere. The sixth is to give them assurance to enjoy their pastimes. Don't worry. Enjoy. You won't be getting caught. Radharani, don't worry. You won't be getting caught in the nighttime. You won't be getting caught in the daytime. That's their business. The Manjari's duties. The seventh, to dress and decorate. Now, this is something a Sakhi won't do, right? This is something Manjaris do. To dress and decorate both Radha and Krishna. To show expertise in expressing their desires. To conceal the faults of Radharani. To cheat their respective husbands. Husbands of whom? Of Manjaris. And relatives. To ill-educate in them in rasa all together. Now look, this is such a triangle. We cannot fathom who is the winner here. Radharani experiences, oh, Sham Sundar is the ultimate winner. Hope he gets more joy. Sham Sundar experiences Radharani. Pray that she is the ultimate winner. She gets the all glories to her. Manjaris, they experience so much joy. So everyone is a winner. Everyone is as Shri Guru says, we all are a would-be gold medalist. Would be. We all are a to-be gold medalist. To be. There's no competition there. There's no push and pull, nothing like that. It's pure, it's non-sectarian, it's completely open. One who has humbled that attitude, that consciousness. So there 12, to enable both the Radha and Krishna to meet at the proper time. 13, to fan the Radha and Krishna. So maid servants do this fanning. It's not like that Sakhi may not fan, but then it comes a bit of an awkwardness or a shyness. A princess, you are also a princess, I am also a princess, you don't fan me. That sort of thing. So Manjaris, they fan Radha and Krishna. Now in Ras Leela, they were perspiring, sweating so much. Do you think that there was no one there to fan them, to bring them towel and all? Even in a Wimbledon game, you know, these players playing, do we not see a ball boy or ball girl, if that's the terms, when there's after they have done their rounds, they both sit down and straight away run to them, who? A ball boy or a ball girl, right? They fan them with towel and give them drinks and take their towel back, give them balls, take this. So they are playing this game of Wimbledon. But can this game expand without the assistance of those? Is ball boy and ball girl the right term, by the way? In the court, there are boys and girls, right? There's the referee, There's the boys and girls, and there are other members. So we see that they rush, giving them balls, giving them water, giving them banana, changing, making sure all of this. Okay, so to fan the heroine, the 14 to sometimes reproach, Manjaris, they chastise Radharani and Shyam Sundar both. Then 15 to set conversation in motion, 16 to protect Radharani by various means or Radharani by all means. This is the thing. So we continue reading this purport, please. Next paragraph, if Andrew Amanda can read.
Some materialistic sahajias who cannot actually understand the pastimes of Radha and Krishna manufacture their own lifestyles without referring to authority. Such sahajias are called Sakhi Beki, and sometimes they are called Gaura Nagari. They believe that the material body, which is fit to be eaten by jackals and dogs, is enjoyable for Krishna. Consequently, they artificially decorate the material body to attract Krishna, thinking themselves Sakhis. But Krishna is never attracted by the artificial grooming of the material body. That's far.
As far as Srimati Radharani and her Manjaris are concerned, their bodies, homes, dresses, ornaments, endeavors, and activities are all spiritual. All of these are meant to satisfy the spiritual senses of Krishna. Indeed, they are so pleasing and endearing to Krishna that he is subjugated by the influence of Srimati Radharani and her friends, and her maidservants. They have nothing to do with anything mundane within the 14 planetary systems of the universe. Although Krishna is attractive to everyone, he is nonetheless attracted to... Is it still right to read Manjaris?
Yes, it's still right. He's nonetheless attracted. Yes.
Yes, by the Manjaris and Srimati Radharani.
By the gopis, Manjaris, Sakhis, and Srimati Radharani. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So Ritik, read next paragraph.
One should not be misled by mental concoctions, supposing his material body to be perfect and deeming oneself a Sakhi. This is something like a ahangraha pasana, that is a Mayavadi's worship of his own body as the supreme. Srila Jiva Goswami has cautioned mundaners to abstain from such conceptions. He also warns that thinking oneself one of the associates of the Supreme without following in the footsteps of the Manjaris is as offensive as thinking oneself to the Supreme. Such thinking is an aparad. One has to practice living in Vrindavan by hearing about the talks of the Manjaris with Krishna. However, one should not consider himself a Manjari, for this is offensive.
Fascinating purport, is it not? So much like how should be our attitude. We can never, this Sahaja is a big thing, right? Oh, don't read Radha Krishna pastime. Don't go to Vrindavan, don't go to Radha Kund. You will become a Sahaja and don't follow something cheaply and all. I mean, if we are, if again and again, I would say, it depends on the attitude of the practitioner and our devotee association. Devotee association, if we are in good inspiring devotee association, should we not be reading? If we are in good inspiring devotee association, we should be reading them day in, day out, throughout. If one is reading Prabhupada's books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, Ishopanishad, cover to cover, one won't become Sahaja if he's in good devotee association. And it doesn't end here. There's so much to read. Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Vilap Kusumanjali, Radha Rasudhanidhi and more, Utkala Vallari and whatnot. Govind Lila, Ujjwal Nilmani, Prabhupada himself like quoting here Ujjwal Nilmani, right? Should we not read Ujjwal Nilmani? Yes. Our Gurudev has read Ujjwal Nilmani cover to cover, don't know how many times. Yeah? So this is something rare, something precious, something pure has to be protected. This is why Krishna Prem is said, not Radha Dasyam, straight away. It's extremely rare, extremely pure. Yeah? This is why Krishna is the supreme. Whole Bhagavatam we say is the glory of Radharani. But we say again there is no direct mention of Radharani. Yeah? So something sublime, pure, sacred has to be protected. So we protect our practice of Krishna consciousness through our humility. In our wildest dreams, we can never afford to imagine, think, claim that I have become one. No way. We may see others, yes, that option is there, and we should exercise that option. To seeing others as way more advanced and to seeing others as having attained this Manjari Bhav. But for myself, no. If we are genuine, we'll realize it. But desire should be there. Yeah? So we are a 2B Manjari, a 2B gold medalist. So next 206 translation. So I can read 206, then at least 207, then Andrew Amanda, then Ritik. We can continue like this till 219. If Anuja is available, she will read whenever she is available, if at all. The pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna are self-effulgent. They are now you see, this is an elaboration of what we read in 204 and 5, and specifically the role of Manjaris. It will more come about now. Okay, their identity, their functioning, their role, and their nature, their position. The pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna are self-effulgent. They are happiness personified, unlimited and all-powerful. Even so, the spiritual humors of such pastimes are never complete without the gopis, without the manjaris. The Lord's personal friends. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is never complete without his spiritual potencies. Therefore, unless one takes shelter of the gopis, there's a distinction between gopis and manjaris, but from now on, we'll just read gopis, okay? As the translation, we'll read it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is never complete without his spiritual potencies. Therefore, unless one takes shelter of the gopis, one cannot enter into the company of Radha and Krishna. So if we want to be really in Krishna consciousness, meaning what Radha Krishna consciousness, and we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then and how can we enter into the company of Radha and Krishna without seeing our Gurudev as a gopi, as a manjari, and ourselves desiring to be? Who can be interested in their spiritual pastimes without taking their shelter?
There is an inexplicable fact about the natural inclination of the gopis. The gopis never want to enjoy themselves with Krishna personally.
So, apologies, I won't confuse more. From now on, this is Manjaris. This is typical Manjari. This is proper Manjari. This is proper Manjari consciousness. This is proper the identity of Manjari. And look at the flow. Amazing, is it not? Huh? There's an inexplicable fact. Wow, I love Prabhupada's writings, the choice of words, you see. Go in the Shloka, Ritik 207, we'll just read the. This is not Sanskrit, this is more of a Gaudiya Vaishnav language. Say, Sakhira Swabhava Eka Akathaya Kathana. Akathaya Kathan means something which cannot be explained. Kathan is again to explain, to narrate, to speak out. Akathaya, it's like inexplicable. Hai na? Krishna Saha Nij Leelaye Nahi Sakhira Mana. There's an inexplicable fact about the natural inclination of the Manjaris. The Manjaris never want to enjoy themselves with Krishna personally. This is a rare breed. Don't take it as a breed, is a bit of a cross word perhaps, but this is a rare personalities, these are the Manjaris, who never desire to enjoy with Krishna personally. ठीक है Ritik, come back in the back screen and we'll read from 208. So now on, kindly read Manjaris wherever you see gopis. We can read as Manjaris.
The happiness of the Manjaris increases 10 million times when they serve to engage Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in their transcendental pastimes.
By nature, Srimati Radharani is just like a creeper of love of Godhead, and the Manjaris are the twigs, flowers, and leaves of that creeper.
When the nectar of Krishna's pastimes is sprinkled on that creeper, the happiness derived by the twigs, flowers, and leaves is 10 million times greater than that derived by the creeper itself.
For now, we'll read just translations, please. We'll keep in the flow, because why we read that translation, we want to safeguard ourselves that we are not Manjaris, we are not Sahajyas, we have not become yet. So to safeguard that translation purport. And now on, yes, please read translations.
All the gopis. All the Manjaris, the personal friends of Srimati Radharani, are equal to her. Krishna is pleasing to the inhabitants of Vrajabhumi, just as the moon is pleasing to the lotus flower. His pleasure-giving potency is known as Aladini, of which the active principle is Srimati Radharani. She is compared to a creeper with newly ground flowers and leaves. When the nectar of Krishna's pastime is sprinkled on Srimati Radharani, all her friends, the Manjaris, immediately appreciate the pleasure 100 times more than if they were sprinkled themselves. Actually, this is not at all wonderful.
Actually, this is not at all wonderful. This is so natural. This is so, life in Vrindavan is natural. Love is natural, pure. This is no wonderful. Not at all wonderful in the sense like this is not at all shocking. The Manjaris are like this. For me, it's a shock to understand I'm not this body, a spirit, soul, even that much. And I'm saying with all honesty, how poor my status is, how dilapidated my state of Krishna consciousness is, how fabricated cannot say. And of course, no comparison, no comparison. But look at that pure state of Krishna consciousness. There's no iota of self-centeredness. Manjaris never desire personal association of Krishna. Never ever. It's always to unite the divine couple. So 212, although the Manjaris, Srimati Radharani's friends do not desire to enjoy themselves directly with Krishna, Srimati Radharani makes a great endeavor to induce Krishna to enjoy himself with these Manjaris. Now, Gopi is also included here and Manjari is also included here. Huh?
Presenting various pleas for the Manjaris, Srimati Radharani sometimes sends the Manjaris to Krishna just to enable them to associate with him directly. At such times, she enjoys a happiness 10 million times greater than that enjoyed through direct association.
The transcendental mellow is nourished by the mutual behavior in transcendental love of Godhead. When Lord Krishna sees how the Manjaris have developed pure love for him, he becomes very satisfied.
When he sees Bapre, who is this club of, gopis? they don't get appealed by me. He becomes so satisfied. Why become satisfied? Because, wow, Radharani, these Manjaris of yours, they are amazing. They give me so joy. become so satisfied that, wow, Radharani, these manjaris of yours are amazing, amazing, amazing. Read, Ritik.
It is to be noted that the natural characteristic of the Manjaris is to love the Supreme Lord. Their lusty desire is not to be compared to material lust. Nonetheless, because their desire sometimes appears to resemble material lust, their transcendental love for Krishna is sometimes described as lust.
Yeah, because there is scriptural writings, there is nothing to express other than this. And in this translation, again, the gopis become more pertinent than manjaris. Apologies for creating some confusion or like this. But because they're hankering for Sham Sundar and in rasa, in conjugal love, so externally it may seem as lust, but it is nothing but pure love. So, Natalie, please.
Although the dealings of the Manjaris with Krishna are on the platform of pure love of Godhead, such dealings are sometimes considered to be lusty. But because they are completely spiritual, Uddhava and all the other dearest devotees of the Lord desire to participate in them.
Apologies. Again, here, gopis is very true. Manjaris can be brought in. Lusty desires are experienced when one is concerned with his own personal sense gratification. The mood of the Manjaris is not like that. Their only desire is to satisfy the senses of Radha and Krishna.
Among the Manjaris, there is not a pinch of desire for sense gratification. Their only desire is to give pleasure to Krishna, and this is why they mingle with him and enjoy with him.
All the gopis said, "Dear Krishna, we carefully hold your delicate lotus feet upon our hard breasts. When you walk in the forest, your soft lotus feet are pricked by small bits of stone. We fear that this is paining you. Since you are our life and soul, our minds are very much disturbed when your lotus feet are pained."
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hai. So this section, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 8, text 200 till 219 we read, 201 to 219. Of course, in our own time, we should be reading the entire chapter. And if we see the flow, the context of it, Ramanand Rai is having a dialogue with Mahaprabhu. Ramanand Rai, Mahaprabhu, they are having a dialogue. And how it evolves is, Mahaprabhu asks that what is the highest in Krishna consciousness? That's how it starts. Ramanand Rai says surrendering to Krishna is the highest, following Varnashram Dharma is the highest, surrendering to Krishna is the highest. Uh, Mahaprabhu says that is fine, that is all external, good, but speak more. This is fine, this is external, but speak more. This is fine, this is external, but speak more. So on, like this, it continues. Then Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Rai says that serving Krishna in Dasya Ras is highest. Mahaprabhu says good, but speak more. Then he says serving in what Sakya is highest, good, but speak more. Serving in Das Vatsalya is highest, good, but speak more. Yeah. Furthermore, like this, then he says serving in conjugal love is the highest. Then Mahaprabhu became very pleased. Yes, very good. Now speak more and more, more and more. And that's how, like, he speaks more and more, and the build up and the build up and the build up, coming to this ultimate culmination. Yeah? So it is to become self-realized is Krishna consciousness. You know? That is the thing. That is the ultimate thing. It is to become self-realized. But our self-realization will be incomplete because, this is what Diksha means, right? Surrendering the self means I exist, but what is my relevance of existence. What is my identity? I am my spiritual masters. Is it not? That's what the self remains. But the self's identity is what? With spiritual master only. That is real self-realization. So real self-realization is what? When we understand in our realization, what is my spiritual master's identity? Who is he? And when I say, okay, yes, how the thing that I have become his, how will it come about? When I know who he is, and I also become that. And this is going to come about only by grace, only by his mercy. On our part, our attitude, our humility, our crying, our desiring. Fulfillment is his mercy, is his grace, all in all. So this is the ultimate realization, and nothing deviation in Krishna consciousness. If at all, kindly come forward and enlighten us, please. And no arrogance. By without any arrogance, we are saying this is clean, clear message of Mahaprabhu. Another ways they will see more through Chaitanya Charitamrita, is what we are reading. Srila Prabhupada's writings we are reading. Now, some more practical examples, thoughts to see in our consciousness, you see, societal ways or some practical, perhaps hopefully useful. Whatever I know, understand is all by the mercy of my spiritual master, Shri Guru. Whatever I could hear from him, whatever I could manage to attract his mercy, and whatever assimilate, it's all his mercy. And desires to be an instrument, desires to be a puppet in his will, to dance as he desires me to dance. So words could be coming from my mouth, so to speak, but it is all Shri Guru's mercy and blessings, and hopefully I become a student, I become a disciple, hopefully I will remain a student. So in my personal practice of Krishna consciousness, to practice Krishna consciousness, he is my inspiration. To sustain Krishna consciousness any amount, he is my inspiration. All in all, everything. So this Shri Guru shared an example we all would have heard. So some examples he shared, we'll quote a few. Now, personally I liked it, and this is Prabhupada's writings only. Prabhupada says we can see this in Bhagavatam first canto, some places. So we all are aware of this concept of mirage, right? Simple question. Mirage or many forms of optical illusion. Is it fair to say mirage is also an optical illusion or form of optical illusion? Hai? So what happens in desert? Mostly mirage is observed, right? This optical illusion. And what happens? We are traveling in desert and it looks at a distance, oh, there is water. Hai? And we are in desert, we are traveling, we are thirsty. We see at a distance, oh, there is water. And when we go and chase after it, run towards it to drink that water, quench our thirst and become happy, we run for it and we realize, oh, there is no water. And that's when we think, oh, it's an illusion. It looks like water, but it is not water. It is apparently water, not in substance. The shadow, or it looks like water, but it is anything but water. Hai na? So, what is Maya? Hai na? This desire for sense gratification, hai na? All of this, Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita in some purpose. What is Maya? Now, this is a question to think, to see that there is water. Is that Maya? That mirage example, to see that yes, there is water at a distance in the desert. I'm seeing water at a distance. Is that Maya? Fair to say? Can I say? Yes, that is the definition of Maya. That I'm in a desert, at a distance I'm seeing water. And yes, that is Maya. That water is Maya. Any thoughts? Is it true to say, or? Ritik, Natalie, Amanda, Andrew, Akhil, Samit, Murthy.
Well, yes, because it's an illusion.
Or if I little bit expand also, maybe it will be hopefully more clear. Seeing that as water is real. I see that water. I cannot deny, we see it. That's why the example and thing. But to think or to believe, to think, to believe, to be convinced that that is water and chase after it, that I chase after it and it will make me happy. I drink it, it will quench my thirst and make me happy. That chase is Maya. That thinking is Maya. That water itself, what we are seeing is not Maya. Because we are seeing it. We see. We cannot deny that seeing. Is it not? When we are walking, traveling, actually growing up, my parents took me to Rajasthan. It's a desert area in northwest of India, beautiful place. My parents took me and my brothers and sister for a holiday. And we had booked a taxi and we were driving. And I felt like I was year 4 or 5 at that time. And I was like, okay, we have been driving some minutes, hours in the desert, like on the roads next to the desert. And like I see, oh wow, there's something like water, something like water. And it's like, okay, very soon car will come there and I will see water. But there's not. So the point is, the seeing that as water is not Maya, but to take it, to believe it, that yes, this is water and it will quench my thirst and run after it, chase for it, that is Maya. To give another example, to see a woman, is that Maya? No. To say that a woman is beautiful, is that Maya? Or a man is handsome, or beautiful, whatever. Is that Maya? No. But to believe and to chase that yes, this girl is pretty, she is beautiful, and she will make me happy. When I engage with her, when I, when I live life in sense enjoyment with her, she will make my senses very pleasing and give me lots of joy. To believe and to go in that chase and to live life like that, that is Maya. Otherwise, yes, woman is pretty, woman is beautiful, man is handsome, man is intelligent, man is good, woman is intelligent, gentle, kind, caring, yes. But to believe, to ascertain, to believe, to understand, to take it, that yes, she's pretty and she will make me happy, then that is Maya. Maya is what? The definition of Maya is that which is not. So how can we deny that we are not seeing mirage, we are not seeing water in the desert? We cannot deny that. How can we deny that she is not pretty or he's not handsome or things like that? No, that is there. But to take it like, okay, if I get to marry her, I will be so happy. To think that this job will make me happy, that thought is Maya. Is job Maya in itself? No. So that sort of thing. Now, this is how our struggle is, what? How to come out of lust, greed, anger, envy, illusion, that sort of thing, right? So if we are this way situated, we won't get trapped, we won't get attracted, we won't get bought in, we won't lose our consciousness altogether. Moving on, a classic example Shri Guru shares, and very soon, thank you for tolerating us. And another, whatever, 10-15 minutes, something, if you could, as it suits you, please. And so another example we share, another 10-15 minutes or whatever, and then please, you can unmute anytime, ask any questions, say or share, whatever. Another example Shri Guru shares, same cricket or Wimbledon example, you see. Now, say this, we can take both examples actually. So let's say Wimbledon example, say. Now Roger Federer and this Djokovic. No, how does his first name come about? Djokovic, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal is one, right? But let's say Roger Federer and Mr. Djokovic, Serbian player, I think, player from Serbia, top two world-class tennis players. Now again, could be subjective. Someone may like some other player, Pete Sampras or whoever. But say these top two players, they are playing lawn tennis, and Wimbledon, where London, the topmost stadium, the topmost arena, the topmost game, Wimbledon trophy, the topmost happening, the topmost players playing. Now, when they come together playing the game of tennis, where would we relish most? Watching them play or us being in that court and playing? Where would we relish most? Would we relish most watching Djokovic and Federer play tennis each other, or would we relish more, say, me and Andrew going to Wimbledon and playing tennis, or us playing tennis? Naturally, we will relish more watching them play. Naturally. If we are tennis lovers, if we are sport lover, what we'll do at that point, Sunday is mostly when the final Wimbledon happens, that Sunday, we won't go playing tennis ourselves. No. We would watch it on big screen at home or in some club, or we may so much so want to be in that Wimbledon arena, that stadium, watching it live with binoculars, cameras, whatever, to play them, to see them play. Would we not? That is where we will derive the highest joy, watching them play. And now comes the role of Manjaris, watching them play. Imagine if Roger Federer, for some reason, he forgot his towel in his changing room. Would we not, if we get this information, would we not want to go and get the towel for him? Okay, you take the towel. Would we not arrange the towel? Would we not want to give our best of the towel or make sure that towel? So this is the role of the Manjaris. In a way, like those ball boys and ball girls. In Wimbledon, they're boys and girls, right? Who stand on the court. Then there's a referee, umpire, and other people. So these ball boys and girls, they hand over the towel, they hand over water bottle, they hand over balls, they hand over rackets or fruits. They make sure they bring the chair. They hold the umbrella. We have seen, right? It's too sunny, they hold the umbrella. It's raining, they hold the umbrella for them. Again, they know this is where our status position. This is again a societal example, but us Manjaris or to be Manjaris, they fan Radha Krishna. And when fanning Radha Krishna, they derive much higher joy than when Radha Krishna themselves derive. This is Manjari Bhav. They offer them betel nut, they do their makeup, they make the bed for them, they clean the courtyard, what not, everything. They bring them to the meeting point, they sing for them, they chant for them, they dance for them, they play jokes, they write poetry, what not. So our highest joy is not in replacing Federer and Djokovic. No, we don't want to replace them. They are the topmost players. We don't want to take in their roles because we know, given us, in the Wimbledon stadium, if we are there, if someone gives me the racket and says, okay, go and face Djokovic, can I face his serve? I don't know, 100 miles per hour or whatever miles per hour he serves. I won't be able to see the ball. It will just bounce back. I won't be able to reply anything to it. And if I am asked to serve him, I won't be able to put the ball past the net in any good form and shape. No way. I will completely ridicule it. And the audience will be so troubled. They will throw eggs, tomato, what not on me. So such is the thing, our attitude. Self-realization is the topmost. We are not replacing Radha Krishna. We are not replacing Shri Guru, nothing. This is why all glories to the divine couple, all glories to Radha Krishna. We understand our role, our position. as the Manjaris and being subservient to that cause. Imagine the floodlight. If the floodlights in the Wembley Stadium goes little bit, tripping, if it is tripping, would we not try to find an electrical engineer? Huh? Would we not contact? Would we not make sure? Okay, someone fix the light. We fix the light. How do we fix the light? We will do everything. Why? To make them play. So our enjoyment is a vicarious. It is not primary. Primary enjoyers are Radha Krishna. This is what. So share on screen again. 456 Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 456. राधा कृष्ण एक आत्मा दुई देह धरी अन्य अन्य विलसने रसा स्वादन करी. They are the primary enjoyers, and through them we enjoy. Any one of you have a favorite sport? Football, cricket, or tennis? This same example is applicable everywhere. Like football, currently I think Messi and this Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, the best players in football. Again, could be subjective, but we are just using these examples. Now, when they are playing, would we want to watch them play, or would we want to be in the ground playing them? No, we won't be in the ground playing with them. No way. We cannot face them. We would rather derive much more joy watching them play. It's very simple. This is our experience. Yeah. Same in cricket. We cannot bowl that fast. We cannot bat that quick. Nothing. We would dare to go in that pitch. We'll hurt ourselves. But we would want to watch the best of the players play. And we would make sure, okay, team bus is running fine. Imagine we get to know that a team bus of a football team or a cricket team has left the stadium, but the tire got flat. Would we not want to make sure, okay, somewhere kind of stabilize this tire and make their journey move forward? We would. So the translation says Radha Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. And what is our role? To enhance their joy. That is our role. We sing Tulasi Arti. This is what we are praying. These slokas which we read today, this is the ultimate prayer, to enhance their joy. So, coming to the conclusion, say, this we understand is the topmost stage we can realize as a human being in our consciousness. And this is the topmost gift we have ever been bestowed upon by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So our consciousness has to transform from where? Now, to address spiritual master as Guru Maharaj is good. It's definitely good. It's definitely proper. It's definitely Krishna conscious transcendental. Sweeter is what? Shri Guru. Shri Guru. Shri is the embodiment of all auspiciousness, all opulence, all wealth, all loving devotional service. That is spiritual master who is labalab, who is full on with that Krishna prem, with that Radha Dasyam. So this is why we lovingly address him as Shri Guru. He's a man of Vaikuntha, true. We aspire in our consciousness, he's a man of Nikunja. He's a personality of Nikunja. That in our consciousness. So that we have to go. Now, we read in this lots of address, right? As Sakhi being addressed in this portion what we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now, our address is also towards devotees. One is we address devotees as Prabhuji and Mataji. It is not wrong to address as Prabhuji and Mataji or as Prabhu and Mataji. It is not wrong. But in that realm of Nikunja, it's you enter into a shopping mall or a office or somewhere wherein we have a badge, a card, and we have to, a university building, office building, we have to punch in that card, right? Or a tube station, metro station, and then we get in. So if we punch in the card of what? Prabhuji and Mataji, the door of Nikunj will never open to us. we will never be getting entrance in Nikunjaran. If I am living in that consciousness, oh, he is a Prabhu, she is a Mataji. He is a Prabhu, she is a Mataji. No way. Because Atmavan Manyate Jagat, whatever physically I am seeing in the physical outside world is a reflection of my own consciousness. If I cannot see myself as a Sakhi, I won't be seeing anyone else as a Sakhi. And if I'm seeing, especially my god brothers, god sisters say, and practicing devotees, birds of the same feather flock together, under Mahaprabhu's fold, Mahaprabhu's teachings, guidance. And if I don't see them as Sakhi, and if I don't call them as Sakhi, or rather if I actually see them as Mataji. Why? Because she is 60 and I am 20. She is my Mataji. That's that sort of thing, or Prabhu. Mata or Prabhu. Then access denied. Nikunj access will be denied forever. So our consciousness has to evolve from Mataji to Sakhi. Even from Prabhu to Sakhi. This is how we address. Sakhi means again friend. Friend in what? Female body. Female body. A Manjari of Radharani addresses a Manjari of Radharani as Sakhi. That is who all we are, and that is the address we want to bring in our consciousness. So this is the transformation we want to go. We are not this body to which body. Then the status of spiritual master. Guru Maharaj again is absolutely fine. We lovingly call Shri Guru. This is why we address Shri Guru. Then Prabhuji Mataji, I'm not saying that Prabhuji Mataji is wrong. No. But this Sakhi, man of Vaikuntha or aiming for Golok Vrindavan, we are aiming for Nikunj Seva. And the address is also we address as Sakhi. Now this is not to make anything cheap. This is not to make a showbiz or make anything cheap, but it is to come to that genuine, honest realization. Being a friend and becoming a friend. Bolye Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hare Hare Bol. Thank you very much for your encouragement, blessings, participation, patience, and if there are any questions, comments, clarifications, then kindly please speak, or addition, then please add, please. Subtraction could be a bit too late to subtract.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I was wondering, is this the paradox then? If it's offensive to consider one as a manjari, but if it's desirable to see each other and to refer to each other, so then if other people are calling us by this, but we have to safeguard ourselves to not consider ourselves to be there, is this a paradox?
In a way, it is the topmost realization. You see, it is the topmost consciousness. This is why we say to become someone's friend is one has to be very soft, to be one's friend. Friendship is rare. Friendship is so soft, pure, delicate, everything. Friendship includes everything. And this status of friendship, what we read, the gopis, the manjaris, dealings with Radha Krishna and their relationships and all. So sublime, so rare, so pure, so sweet, so soft, so delicate, whatnot, everything. So us address as a Premanjana Sakhi, Anupama Sakhi, other Sakhi, Natalie Sakhi, Kanak Manjari Sakhi, like this. I desire to be their friend. I desire to be their Sakhi. They also, out of their sweet nature, sweet heart, refer to me as Sakhi. But I see them as Manjaris. I see them they have attained it. They are there. I see them, or I should be. Again, this is a subject matter of one's consciousness, of one's realization. We cannot fake it. You see, we cannot continue faking it. We cannot sustain ourselves faking it. The makeup will come out. Even though I call them as Saki, 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 but if I'm in not that consciousness and if I do not see them, it will come out. The makeup won't sustain. So for myself, it was to realize, yes, so am I. So am I. But I don't claim it. I have not become yet. I am a friend. I'm a friend of yours. I'm a friend of Andrew, Amanda, Akila, Samit, Murthy, Ritik, Natalie, Anuja, others. Na? So as in Sakis, yes, and we share that loving bond, that friendship. But have I become a Manjari yet? No. That does not mean that I'm not your friend. That does not mean that you are not my friend. This does not mean that we are not friends. We are still friends and we see each other in that light. But have I become one? No. Actually, the moment I apply any intelligence or calculation or thought, I have lost it then. Because in love, there is no thought. In love, there is no calculation. In love, there is no intelligence. In this realm, if one has attained it, one cannot attain it by deliberation, by meditation, by applying thought, applying intelligence or mental brain. No, no. This is why it is causeless mercy. One just attains it, one just gets it, one just transpires. It is a mercy revealed, it something to be experienced in the heart. And one who experiences, he will never claim, he will never call out that I am a Manjari. No way that I have attained this Manjari Bhav, this Sakhi Bhav. He will, yes, I'm a Sakhi in the sense, yes, I'm his friend. Yes, they call me Sakhi. Why? Because they take me as friend, so they call me as Sakhi. And I also share some friendship with them, so I refer to them as Sakhi. Yes, they are my friends. And this is the birds of the feather same flock together. So this is the journey I'm practicing and I'm preparing myself for. I'm taking. I know that I'm not there yet. I'm not pure. But still, this is sanctioned. I'm practicing it. I'm following. Now, in the name of this sort of humility, well, if you're not there, then why do you use such words? है Why do you say that Sakhi, Sakhi, like this, if you are not there yet? Then the same thing, Baba. If we are not there yet, why do we chant the Vrinda Devi's prayers? If I know that my desire is not this, that I want nothing but shelter in Vrindavan, why do I pray? Why do I sing? Why do I sing Guru Ashtakam if I have not realized that my spiritual master is a Manjari? Huh? Why do I read? Why do I chant? If I've not realized? It's not by like first you realize and then you will call. This is part of the journey. This is part of the process. It happens simultaneously. Does it somewhat answer your question, Amanda?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. It's just bringing back to mind the point that you made in the class that Sri Guru responded to. Yes, these great personalities deny. They have, but they still deny.
They fully have it. They will never claim they have it.
Yeah.
They will never claim it. This is humility. Humility means bringing the sheer contrast. That Radha Krishna, you are so divine, you are so beautiful. And only a humble soul can have this contrast. Yeah? Only a humble soul. Only one who has it can say that I don't have it. Only them. Because they are in these pastimes and they see these pastimes. They in and out go of these pastimes. And the humility brings this contrast. It shows. So we have to protect our humility. We have to genuinely become humble. Yeah. Like in driving, one be it manual car or driving a automatic car, one changes gears, right? One cannot just keep on driving at the same gear, at the same speed, you see. Yeah? So when we come into Krishna consciousness, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajate Purusha Param. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tivrena means with intense force. Intense force meaning need not necessarily mean, okay, chanting 64 rounds daily, that's intense force. Yes, that is also, it's commendable commitment. Intense force again meaning in our internalization of practice, in our hankering, in our greed, in our prayers, in our call, cry, that sense. Yeah? So if someone is humble, he will never ever claim that I have attained it. Rather, I am far away from it. And he would see, yes, you have attained it. Yes, you have it. I see it in you. So this is the progression we want to evolve. We want to go. You know? Not saying again, sometimes some devotees feel a bit upset as well. Why do you call me Mataji? Don't call me Mataji. I'm just 10-year-old or I'm 15-year-old or 20-year-old, or don't call me Mataji. You know? Or it's just like what to address Mataji, Prabhuji, you know, sort of thing. But ours is Sakhi. Could be just the bodily, it's 60-year-old or 40-year-old or 20-year-old. But we see a Sakhi. But yes, if that mood has not come about, Prabhuji, Mataji, fine, so be it. Yeah? And even if, like in societal, yes, Prabhu or Sakhi, like this, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Another Bhakti Vinod Thakur's prayers, his teachings, writings. Mithya apavad vachana bhi abhimana siddhi. Like, even though I have not become a Sakhi yet and in that consciousness, and perhaps not, even if I don't see others like she's my Sakhi, but if I call, if I continue calling, and if I continue praying, chanting, reading, and keeping in this association, it is contagious. It will rub on me. Yeah, it is contagious. It will come out. Provided my attitude. Yeah. So attitude is 100%. Yeah. Its advancement depends on my attitude. So if I keep that attitude and in good devotee association inspiring, then sooner or later, this I will also get diseased in the divine sense, by this Manjari consciousness altogether. Bolye Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hare Hare Bol. Another day.
Sorry, is it a good time?
Yeah. We are listening.
So as we were reading through the few activities of the manjaris and things, there was like glimmers, of feelings like about that, like what you could imagine would grow to be like an ecstatic feeling. But I was wondering what the sort of process of that, like how do we see the progression of our internal feelings about these events? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Beautiful question. Beautiful question. The process of being in that consciousness, experiencing, attaining, understanding, what to speak of living, and the beginning is Guru Padashraya. Yeah? The beginning is taking shelter of a bona fide, pure personality. This is why we say again and again, and we say from Prabhupada's writings only, that human life begins when we inquire into religion. When we understand that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, that marks the beginning of a human form of life. But our devotee form of life, and devotee in this Manjari consciousness, that's what we mean. How will that come about? When I inquire, where is that pure devotee who is living in this consciousness. The sublime inquiry Arjuna made. Ritik will share on screen Bhagavad Gita 254. The sublime inquiry Arjuna made. Sthita pragya se ka bhasha. So I am not there yet, but reading scriptures, hearing from devotees, doing japa. Acha, okay, we sing Mangal Aarti, we sing Tulsi Aarti like this, na? So that's our beginning of spiritual life. When we understand we are not this body, we are a spirit soul. That's the beginning. Difference between matter and spirit. There is a God. Who is God? God exists. There is he has a name. His name is Krishna, personality. Why is there suffering? This marks the beginning of our human form of life. But what marks the beginning? You say, na? How do I see the progression, that attainment? The beginning is searching, inquiring. Like Arjuna is inquiring here from Krishna, is it not? Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? Or what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in Manjari consciousness? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? How does he walk? How does he sing? How does he chant? All of this. His aura, his personality, his business, his moving about. So when we make that inquiry, नित्य सिद्ध कृष्ण प्रेम साध्य कबू नय श्रवणादि शुद्ध चित्त करे उदय. It is there inbuilt. That chip of Manjari consciousness is there inbuilt amongst all of us. It needs to be brought out. It needs to be revived. It needs to be fed. And how? The beginning is Guru Padashraya, when we take shelter of a bona fide personality. And when we engage in loving serving, when we engage in lovingly serving him. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 20 items it says. Actually, Hari Bhakti Vilas brings lots and lots of do's and don'ts, regulations in practicing Krishna consciousness. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami summarized it us in 64. And in this 64, the first 20. And amongst those first 20, the first 3. The first is what? In devotional service. The first is what? Inquiring, searching, or taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Then attaining Siksha and Diksha for him. Becoming initiated. Knowing the personality, coming in a relationship with him. Finding someone is the beginning, the inquiry. And as Shri Guru says, in a staircase, the bottommost stair and the topmost stairs, they are connected, are they not? So likewise, the moment this desire happens to inquire, to find a pure devotee, simultaneously everything is happening. So when we inquire, when we see, then we take his shelter. And what we learn, we attain Siksha, knowledge from him. And we take Diksha as well from him, and we lovingly serve him. These are the first 3 processes which is mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu for us to advance in Krishna consciousness. So it begins with this inquiry, it begins with taking shelter, and then forming our relationship with spiritual master, observing the spiritual master, being in a relationship with spiritual master, loving the spiritual master and seeing how he serves. Then we sing Guru Ashtakam. In that mood we should be singing, not plainly, not brainlessly, not like to some personality. We sing Guru Ashtakam for our spiritual master. I mean, this is how a disciple sings it for his spiritual master. This is what Guru Vandana is. Guru Vandana. Guru is a generic term, is it not? Guru Ashtakam, generic term. But I am a disciple of my spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Swarup Govind Maharaj. His Holiness Parampriya Srila Bhakti Swarup Govind Maharaj. I am his disciple, so I sing Guru Ashtakam, Guru Vandana for his pleasure. I should be singing for his pleasure. So when I understand being in a loving relationship with him, then only that will rub on me. We'll request Ritik to share one sloka and Andrew read the translation. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.11 Etavan eva yajatam ihe nishreya odaye Bhagavati achalo bhavo yad bhagavata sangata. Etavan eva yajatam. Yajatam is these worshippers and their mode of worship, the style of worship. Ihe nishreyas odaya, the manifestation of the highest benediction, nishreya, ultimate benefit. How does it come about, that manifestation? Nishreya odaya, this development. Bhagavati achalo bhavo yad bhagavata sangata. Andrew, please read translation.
All the different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfectional benediction, which is spontaneous attraction, unflinchingly fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by the association of the pure devotee of the Lord.
Yeah. So for us, this is Srimad Bhagavatam message, and how we see, like, we also want to desire to attain spontaneous attraction, unflinchingly fixed upon the service of the divine couple in the realm of Nikunja. Fair enough. How will that come about? What is the process? Only by association of the pure devotee of the Lord. Now, before associating, we have to first inquire. We have to first find out. We then stay in contact. We build a relationship. We check him, and the pure devotee also checks us. And when our heart, we are convinced at heart by our prayers to Gauranita and to Vaishnavas, then they point us to our spiritual master. And best is when revelation is in the heart. That's best when we are not driven by our intelligence or external glamour or whatever. Then that's real surrender. So then when we associate with him in lovingly and see his magnanimity, then the same magnanimity will appear in our heart as well. And what will happen? Then only we'll develop a taste in reading, hearing, chanting. Only then we'll develop a taste in Krishna consciousness, and our focus will be very, very intensive, then very pointed, very sharp, very specific. And we will be living in that consciousness. We'll want to live in that consciousness. Does this answer your question, Andrew?
Yes, thank you.
Only then we'll be able to chant lovingly, read and meditate and serve and whatnot and desire. So it is this consciousness which we desire to hanker, we pray to attain. Another day we desire to do, we assume, say, on the authenticity of Mahaprabhu's message. That on the authenticity of this Manjari Bhav and all of what Mahaprabhu has come to give. Is it Manjari Bhav that Mahaprabhu has come to give? How do we understand and all of like this? Thank you very much for your kind patience, encouragement and participation. Kindly continue blessing us. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, any other thoughts, comments or anything to say, share please, or add?
I have one more question, if that's okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, again we say we love questions. Please.
My question is, if we all long for that consciousness of being a manjari, in the spiritual world, as I understand it, there's innumerable planets of different presiding deities, and therefore different positions for living entities to sort of occupy. So if it's our dharma to attain this position of manjari, how does that work with there being so many other positions in Vaikuntha?
Lovely question. Drew would definitely request you, when Shri Guru does Zoom in English on this Wednesday or whenever convenient, kindly ask the same question to him, please. Definitely, because it's so sweet question. We would like to hear his response, what he says. And also your previous question as well, this Manjari consciousness. So how do we see the progression? How do we see that I am progressing or this is happening? Well, there will be a desire. It's all driven by desire, a taste. Just on the previous also, we can see, share on screens 3:25:25 Shrimad Bhagavatam. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti ritkarna prasayana katha ritkarna rasayana katha tajjoshanātāshu apavargamartmani Shraddharatirбhaktiranukramishyati. Yeah. The message is this only. We can check in the translation, in the association of pure devotees. Satam Prasangam, Prasangam is this association of pure devotees. Mama Virya Samvito. When we hear the loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Now, Supreme Personality of Godhead for us is Radha Krishna. When we hear these pastimes of Radha and Krishna, so pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. Yeah. By coming across again devotee, pure devotee, spiritual master, and hearing from him, Kirtan in the form of classes, associating, when by cultivating such knowledge, one gradually, now gradually is extremely important. It's not like overnight, gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation. And what path are we talking about? For us, on the path of attaining seva in the Nikunja realm. And thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes more fixed. So what will happen is, how do we check we are progressing? That our taste, our interest will become more fixed in hearing these pastimes of Radha and Krishna, in hearing such messages, in chanting such messages, in discussing such messages, in wanting to be the association of such devotees, in really wanting to be the birds of the same feather flocking together. That was the progression. Yes. That I aspire to be such a bird and I aspire to flock together towards this direction. Becoming the wings of Shri Guru, like this. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. That's how. So this question, there are certainly innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, presided by Narsinga Bhagwan, Lord Ramchandra, Varadev, Vamandev, Matsya, Kurma, so many others, many we do not even know. And then there are eternal associates of them who are loving and serving them in those spiritual planets, in those spiritual sky, and they all are lovingly serving them. But thing is, they have attained that pure consciousness, they have attained that pure transcendental consciousness, and they are very much happy in that consciousness. They are very much satisfied since eternity, for eternity. For eternity, they are satisfied. So there is no, like we see this in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, Murari Gupt, one of the associates. So in the pastimes, they play the pastimes of Ramayan. Murari Gupt is Hanuman incarnation. Now Mahaprabhu urges him, chant Hare Krishna, become a Krishna devotee. And one night he had Mahaprabhu told him, become a Krishna devotee. That night he had a sleepless night. He could not sleep. He told Mahaprabhu the next day, I had such a rough night. I found you are telling me become a Krishna devotee. No, I don't want to become. I won't become. I'm a loyal Ram Bhakta. I'm a loyal Ram devotee. Please do not make me Krishna devotee. And Mahaprabhu was very pleased. Why? Because he has found his absorption, his attachment. So these personalities, occupying the Vaikuntha, innumerable Vaikuntha planets, they have found their absorption and attachment in their roop, in their form, and in their seva, in their disposition towards their lordship, Lakshmi Narayan or Sitaram or Narsinga Bhagwan or Varadev or Vamandev. They have find complete fixed absorption, and attachment. And they are happy for eternity. So they are settled. They are settled. But I definitely have not found my absorption and attachment yet. That option is there for me. Yeah? So, and why do I choose Krishna? Because scripture says he's the supreme personality of Godhead. Demigods, everyone say, Krishna also say. And why do I choose Krishna? Because Prabhupada says, I would say. Why? Ritik, share on screen Bhagavad Gita's 1865 purport. We'll just read one sentence. Huh? So, your question, in response to your question, I have not found yet my absorption and attachment. I can develop that attachment and absorption. I can pray for that absorption and attachment. And I can desire, and this is what Mahaprabhu also wants me to desire, to attain a space, a place in the Nikunja realm of Vrindavan. So if I do that, what will happen? Nothing will happen in the other spiritual sky. Nothing in the sense that nothing emptiness or nothing more inclusiveness. Unlimited. If I become a Manjari also, it's not like there is, in a way, that there is no lacking. But there is opportunity for more and more such seva. There's always a vacancy. Always a vacancy. So I get occupied. It is my highest treasure, highest place, highest attainment. And I occupy that. And those who are serving in other planets, spiritual planets, they are perfectly in bliss. They have no complaint, they have no remorse, hesitation, or anything. In whatever capacity they are serving, in whatever form and in whatever disposition to their Lordship. And it's nothing wrong. Because it is subjective, now. As Hanuman found his true love in Lord Ram, great. Pandavas, they find their true love in Dwarkadish. Like that, great. So other personalities, Prahlad Maharaj found his true love in Narsingha Bhagwan, great. Tremendously great. But we are open, we can be molded, we can be modified. So scroll down in the purport, second paragraph, please. So why Krishna, Because Prabhupada says, you see here, the second paragraph of the purport, if I read third sentence, one should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. So what will happen to them? Those personalities who have occupied a status in the spiritual planets, they are loving it. They are living an eternal blissful life, full of knowledge and bliss. What will happen to us? We can develop our absorption in Krishna, and Krishna meaning Radha Krishna. And we can aim to attain that realm, which is Mahaprabhu's also desire, Rupa Goswami's desires, Shri Guru's desires. Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami has attained it. The process is given in our parampara is that. And this is what is loyalty, this is what is fidelity, following in the footsteps of spiritual master. Does this answer your question, Andrew?
Yeah, I believe so. So it's that we aim for the highest capacity we have of service, which is Radha Dasyam. And
yes,
in attaining that or working towards that, then our true position of in relation to whatever deity will be revealed.
not whatever deity, to Radha Krishna. Radha Dasyam, Radharani is our worshipful deity, na? Radha Krishna, and Radha Krishna in the groves of Vrindavan. Radha Sham Sundar, Radha Madhav, them. We worship them. This is what we sing in Tulasi Aarti. This is what we sing. This is my More E Abhilash Vilas Kunja Diyo Vas Nayane Heribo Sada Yugal Ruparasi. This is my only desire, that give me a residence in Vrindavan, and with my eyes I will behold your beauty, the divine couple's beauty, Radha Krishna's beauty. So the Mahaprabhu has made it possible. Mahaprabhu came with this blessing for us, ultimate. In the mood of Radharani, he is unlimitedly bestowing this mercy upon us to attain the highest possible attainment for a human soul, for a living entity in this realm. Yeah. Doesn't matter in heavenly planet or wherever, a living entity in the material realm, for him or her to attain the highest possible participation in service, participation in bliss, highest possible consciousness is Sri Radha Dasya. Servitorship of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani as a choicest, beautiful, kinkari maid servant of Srimati Radharani in the Nikunj of realm of Shishi Vrindavan Dham, serving the divine couple. That option is offer is available and open for us.
Thank you. So, because we've been attracted to this Sangha, say, with this
Sure,
Srimati,
sure.
then for us, this perhaps is our highest attraction, Radha Dasyam. But do you feel like, or is it said that for others who may have a different position, would be attracted to a different Sangha?
Could be, why not? But again, I say, if we are following the teachings of Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami, it makes sense we become attracted to what Mahaprabhu has come to. You know, Vaishnava and Gaudiya Vaishnava. We are not just Vaishnava, we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. What is the definition of a Gaudiya Vaishnava? One who is a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who is a follower of the Shad Goswamis, of the 6 Goswamis. Who is a follower of that message, who is an aspirant, who carries this message, who is a representative of that message. And that message is Sri Radha Dasyam. Now, if some devotee chanting Hare Krishna, practicing Krishna consciousness, if he is still like, okay, yes, I find my more, in Vatsalya Bhav or as a friend to Krishna, this and that, there's nothing wrong. It's fine, okay. But this is the path, Mahaprabhu's path. It's like in the altar we have the Shad Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? Every altar we find, right? Then who are them? In their perfected spiritual form, they all are Manjaris. Are they not? Rupa Manjari, Ananga Manjari, Vilas Manjari, Lavanga Manjari, Rati Manjari. These are all Manjaris. Our parampara, if we check, this is a parampara of Manjaris. Champaklata Manjari, Manjulali Manjari, Narottam Das Thakur, his spiritual master. This is a parampara of Manjaris, the songs we sing, the text we read. So if we are chanting Hare Krishna, it's an address to whom? To the divine couple. Now, as we read in the purpose, right? Only the gopis have entrance to serve the divine couple, Radha Krishna. Not those sakhas in sakha bhav or one who are, in servants towards Radha and Krishna in dasya bhav like that, no. And not those who are in parental mood. So if we chant Hare Krishna, if we say Krishna Prem, it translates to Radha Dasyam. We chant Hare Krishna. Now, who in what consciousness is one chanting? Who is chanting? How do we desire to chant? As a Manjari chants, as a Manjari sings, as a Manjari brings the glories of the divine couple, as a Manjari brings them together. Vrindavan Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dham Ratna Mandir Manohara. Vrindavan is our abode, Vrindavan is our aspiration. What is Vrindavan? We sing this prayer. Vrindavan Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dham. We can go through these translations. They are there. We can see the meanings. What does it mean? So someone still practicing Krishna consciousness. Yes, can be practicing, said to be practicing Krishna consciousness. But I wonder, you sing Guru Ashtkam, and you say Nikunja, you know all those verses we just read too. But again, I'm saying we are not reading in isolation or out of context. By all means, read all 8. Read the Guru Vandana, read the translation. If you are seeing your spiritual master as an assistant to the gopis in the realm of Vrindavan, and if you say I am his spiritual disciple, means I am his follower. I'm a follower of Srila Prabhupada. I follow this practice and all. Then I wonder, how are we following? Because, on one side we are saying that's contradiction, isn't it? On one side we are singing, my spiritual master is engaged in serving the divine couple in the groves of Vrindavan. Then on another side, I say, I find more comfortable becoming a sakha, or I really like Narsinga Bhagwan's prayers and arti and this 7th canto pastime. I love it so much. It's contradictory, right? It is transcendental, but if I'm aspiring there towards Narsinga Bhagwan, attaining the darshan of Narsinga Bhagwan, then why do I sing Tulasi Arti? Why do I sing Guru Ashtakam? Is it not? Nectar of Instruction, text 9. Ritik will share on screen. These are the nectar of instructions. Text 8, nectar of instruction goes in stages. Text 8 is a big curve. And text 9, so text 8 first, share text 8, and then we'll see 9. What's the big curve will say? Tannam Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smritayo. Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya. Tishtan Brajet Tad Anuragi Jananugami. Kalam Nayat Akhilam Iti Updesha Saram. This is the essence of all instruction. Ritik, great translation.
The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Goloka Vrindavan Dham, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service.
So, following the footsteps, Tishtan Brajet Tad Anuragi Jananugami. For us, who is our Brajvasi? For us, where do we find resident of Vrindavan? Someone who is a resident of Vrindavan. We cannot. Who are the residents of Vrindavan? Subal, Madhumangal, them. These are eternal associates of the Lord. We cannot find them. Even Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Nitya Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, we cannot reach out to them directly. We cannot find them. For me, my Brajvasi is my spiritual master. He is the resident of Brajvasi to me. I follow in his footsteps. That's how I gain entrance in Braj. And that's how I can engage myself 24 hours a day, nicely chanting, remembering the pastimes and everything. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu also quotes the same message. Seva sadhak rupena, siddha rupena chatrahi. Tad bhava lipshuna karya, braja lokanu sarata. So, with regards to your question, now text 9 you see, this, if we are reading Mahaprabhu's instructions, Rupa Goswami's instruction, this is his instruction. Vaikunta janito vara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsavat vrindaranyamudar pani ramanat tatrapi govardhanam Radha Kundamihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Plavanat Kuryadasya Virajato Giritate Sevam Vivekinaka. So Andrew, you are intelligent. Please read the translation.
The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of Krishna's Rasa Leela pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian praying of the Lord of Gokul, Sri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill?
Yeah. This is Rupa Goswami's instruction that where should we channelize our energies? Where should we become fascinated? What should be our hankering? What should be our desire? Yeah. If we are exposed to the topmost realm, now they are all transcendental planets, where Lord Narasimha Dev resides, where Varadev Vaman Dev resides, where Lord Ram resides. These are all transcendental planets. Like in the same chapter what we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita 8, Madhya Leela. In Tartamyata, in comparison, Dasya Bhav, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, these are all transcendental. But yet, in comparison, Sakhya is superior than Dasya. We say and we agree. Sakhya, Vatsalya is superior. So, servitor friendship is superior. This fraternity is superior than servanthood. Then parental affection is superior than fraternity. Then conjugal rasa, conjugal mood is much superior than vatsalya, than parental affection. So there's a gradation. There's the highest. Yes, conjugal is the highest. And the cream of that conjugal is what? Manjari Bhav. Yeah? The diamond in that ring is Manjari Bhav. Like, so Rupa Goswami telling us, this is the instruction given to us, that this is the topmost. So if our Goswamis are declaring this is the topmost, and this is where they have entered their consciousness, and if I am their follower, ours is a sampradaya of Gaudiya Vaishnava or Rupanugas, Rupanuga follower. We hear devotees we are given these names, Rupanuga Das. We are Rupanuga followers means what? We are Anug means follower of Rupa Goswami, and this is Rupa Goswami's teachings, writings, instructions. Radha Kund is non-different from Radharani, and this is the greatest treasure for Shyam Sundar. So the best is given to us freely. Should we not accept the best? We should. There is no force. There is no force. Of course, there is no force in it. Yeah. But yes, it depends on the association. It all depends on our association. But if we are reading Nectar of Instruction, if we are reading Bhagavatam, if we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, if we call ourselves as we are Gauranitai followers, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are Rupanugas followers, Rupanugas, we are practicing Krishna consciousness, and we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, then it is undeniable that where we should be aiming for, what we should be aiming for. And if we are still not aiming for it, perhaps we have not got the message of Mahaprabhu. We have not understood the message of Rupa Goswami. It has not penetrated our consciousness. We might well be singing Guru Ashtakam daily. We might well be singing Tulsi prayers daily. We might be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But we don't know our spiritual master. We have wrong. We have connected either to the wrong parampara, or we have connected wrongly ourselves in the parampara. But still, it is not so correct to call it wrong. Why? Because we are chanting, reading, hearing, following Ekadashi, being with devotees and all. So we are practicing Krishna consciousness. But do we specifically, do we know we are not this body? Then which body are we? Are we aspiring? And that is what Mahaprabhu said there. Yeah? That in our internal contemplation, we should be thinking, we should be meditating who we are. Just one more shloka. Chaitanya Chaitamit Madhya Leela, chapter 8, text 288, 228, 229. Bring that, Nriti. Madhya Leela 8, 228, 229. This is the continuation of the dialogue Ramanand Rai has with Mahaprabhu. And the leading of it. And Ramanand Rai is speaking to Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu is in full agreement. अतएव गोपी भाव करी अंगीकार अतएव मंजरी भाव करी अंगीकार रात्रि दिन चिंते राधा कृष्ण विहार अतएव means therefore. So we are time bound, है in our own time we'll read, and in Zoom also we have read actually previously last year so many times we read this chapter, cover to cover actually, all the translations. So this is a build up, and where is it? This is the culmination. Where is it coming to? Therefore, therefore means what? Okay, everything has been discussed above. Conclusion is what? One should accept the mood of the gopis in their service. In such a transcendental mood, one should always think of the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Go to the next. Siddha deha chinti kore tahani sevana. Siddha deha chinti kore tahani sevana. Sakhi bhave pae Radha Krishna re charanam. Manjari bhave pae Radha Krishna re charanam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. After thinking of Radha and Krishna and their pastimes for a long time, it's not an overnight journey. We are not just like, okay, oh, you have read Chaitanya Chaitamit and you know it now. Huh? No, it's not an overnight journey, definitely. It's a gradual. But since eternity, we have been gradual. Now, if in this life, even if someone attains it, a pious, gentle soul, attains Radha Dasyam, in this life itself, coming across devotees and within a few months attains, still it is gradual in that scheme of things. Gradually, he or she got in connection with spiritual master, Shri Guru, and their purva rag, their bhajan, their meditation, their chanting of all the previous lifetimes is now fructified. Bhagavad Gita says, there's no loss in this process. You continue from where you left off. So there are devotees who meet a pure Raganuga Bhakt, a purest devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord. There are devotees who meet our Gurudev. I'm so blessed to have come in contact. This is my fortune. I have seen some of devotees and their aspiration in Krishna consciousness, their meditation, their prayers, their vision, their hankering, their desperation, their crying, their purity, their longing, their relationship with my spiritual master. Wow. Somewhat I witness, I experience, somewhat it has transpired my consciousness. It's such a blessing, such a mercy of my spiritual master. And their Purva Rag of Bhajan, their bhajan from previous years, and how they share this eternal bond with spiritual master, and looking at them. So inspiring. So, Andrew, please read purport.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that the word Siddha Deha, perfected spiritual body, refers to a body beyond the material gross body composed of 5 elements and the subtle astral body composed of mind, intelligence, and false ego. In other words, one attains a completely spiritual body fit to render service to the transcendental couple Radha Krishna. Sarvopati vinim muktam tat paratvena nirmalam.
Ritik read next paragraph and Kirtanya Sadhari can read the third paragraph.
When one is situated in a spiritual body, which is beyond this gross and subtle material body, he is fit to serve Radha and Krishna. That body is called Siddhadeha. The living entity attains a particular type of gross body in accordance with his past activities and mental condition. In this life, the mental condition changes in different ways, and the same living entity gets another body in the next life according to his desires. The mind, intelligence, and false ego are always engaged in attempt to dominate material nature. According to the subtle astral body, one attains a gross body to enjoy the object of one desires. According to the activities of the present body, one prepares another subtle body. And according to the subtle body, one attains another gross body. This is the process of material existence. However, when one is spiritually situated and does not desire a gross or subtle body, he attains his original spiritual body, as confirmed by the Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so arjuna.
One is elevated to the spiritual world by the spiritual body and is situated either in Goloka Vrindavan or in another Vaikuntha planet. In the spiritual body, there are no longer material desires, and one is fully satisfied by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shishi Radha and Krishna. This is the platform of bhakti. Rishikesh, Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. When the spiritual body, mind, and senses are completely purified, one can render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his consort. In Vaikuntha, the consort is Lakshmi, and in Goloka Vrindavan, the consort is Srimati Radharani. In the spiritual body, free from material contamination, one can serve Radha Krishna and Lakshmi Narayan. When one is thus spiritually situated, he no longer thinks of his own personal sense gratification. The spiritual body is called Siddha Deha, the body by which one can render transcendental service onto Radha and Krishna. The process of bhakti is that engaging the transcendental senses in loving devotional service. The verse specifically mentions Sakhi Bhave Paya Radha Krishnera Charana. Only transcendental elevated persons in the mood of the Manjaris can engage in the service of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna.
It is rare, but it is not impossible. It is not impractical. Definitely rare. Topmost purity, topmost rarity. But yet, it's not like Radha Krishna are having a joke or fun with us, Oh, it's so rare, and we will let you listen, but you can never attain it. They're not mocking us, you see? It's transcendentally rare, it's transcendently pure, yet attainable. Yeah. So, Amanda, read translation.
After thinking of Radha and Krishna and their pastimes for a long time, and after getting completely free from material contamination, one is transferred to the spiritual world. There the devotee attains an opportunity to serve Radha and Krishna as one of the gopis or manjaris.
So it all again boils down to our association, who we associate with. Devotee association is extremely rare. Is so pure, and it will come about only through devotee association. There's no other way. That's the way to advance in Krishna consciousness, being in good devotee association. Then all this message or whatever we are reading, it's all by the blessings of Shri Guru. Yeah. So we go with it. Now, another thing, it's all about, the perfection of self-realization is this Manjari Bhav. So one last thought to your question. You both have passport, right? And you, Amanda, right? When we apply for making a passport, we fill the form, right? Now, we just don't go or we just don't like, okay, I am male, give me a passport. Does it work like this? No. Yeah. Baba, I'm a human being, give me a passport. No, you are a human being, but you have to be specific. When we apply for a passport, going to the passport, just taking that as an example, to the passport agency, if I just tell them, hey, I'm a human being, give me a passport. No, they won't. They want some more specific. Okay, great, you are a human being. Great, you have realized it. But if you need passport, tell us your name. What is your name? Okay, this is my name. Tell us your gender. What is your gender? Male. Tell us your date of birth. Yeah. I don't know if in British passport, I don't think so. They write parents' name like this, but Indian passport definitely, and some other passports. Tell us your father's name. Huh? I just cannot go. Oh, I am a human being. Give me a passport. Just saying that human being does not become eligible to get a passport, right? Huh. Just like, okay, I'm a human being. Am I eligible to get a passport? No. In a way, yes. So this what now? If I understand, I'm not this body. I'm a spirit soul. Great. Am I eligible to get a passport? Not yet. It's a great start. Great start though. But if I go, hey Radha Krishna, I chant Hare Krishna Mahamanta, I realized I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. Please give me entrance in Vrindavan. No, it doesn't happen that way. It's a great start though. Yeah. So just by understanding I'm a human being doesn't give me a passport. Yes, I'm eligible to get a passport. It kind of takes me to another level then. Okay, then I have to understand who am I? What's my name? What's my date of birth? What's my father's name? Where do I live? I have to give them this specific details. Am I not? Likewise, whole meditation is what? It is self-realization. But our self-realization, the self is connected to spiritual master. That's the key. Because I have surrendered myself, so I'm not my own. Or my life rests actually in the hands of my spiritual master. Yeah. So if this is loving service to him, if I love him, serve him, if I cannot see him as a kinkari, as a choicest, beautiful maid servant of Srimati Radharani, I can never aspire myself to be one, and I won't become one. Or otherwise, I've never taken shelter of him, in true sense. Huh? Does this answer your question, Andrew, somewhat?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
So, this is what we understand the message of Mahaprabhu, the highest consciousness level a spirit soul can attain. To say spirit soul is like, what do we get out of it? But spirit soul means identity, a personality. And now is to trace, now is to understand. And when we progress, then some bhavs are mentioned in the writings of our acharyas called as Ekadash Bhav. At least 11 things come about, like in the form of revelation, through vision, dream, inspiration, or through other devotees. This gets revealed, okay, one's name, transcendental divya name in that realm, one's age, parents, the village where one is born, the family, one's where she's married, and one's seva, Once eternal seva, perfected seva, once regular seva say, and who is the seva leader, who is the youth leader, who is the group leader, under whose command does one serve. All of that. There is a proper bhajan also by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Dekhite Dekhite Bhuli Baba Kove, Nija Stula Prorichoya. In that bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Javete Vivaha Hobe, है ना? वृषभानु पूरे जन्म लेइबो जावटे विवाह होबे. Radha go, so I will take birth in Barsana and I will get married in Jawat. So devotees in their practice, when they are blessed by the divine couple, by Shri Guru and Gaurang, in their practice, it comes about that realization in their heart. Humility has to be sublimely intact. And the Mahaprabhu's mission, his message is Dasa Dasa Nu Das or Dasi Dasi Nu Dasi. That's the path we follow. And very specific, very specific. Uday Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for your questions, participation. Any other final comment, thoughts, or any clarification, or any correction, or any addition? Very well. So we park it here. Another day we'll try to do this in Hindi also, and another day, another session we'll try to do, to read a bit and see the authenticity of the message of Mahaprabhu. Similar, we'll see it as slightly different lens, let's say. Hare Krishna. परम प्रिय शिला भक्ति स्वरूप गोविंद महाराज की जय.
जय